and welcome in for this CMFL competition in week number 7 at Fred G. Hughes Stadium in Joplin, Missouri. This game, a crucial game with only a couple of weeks left to go in the season between the Midwest Titans and the hosts, the Joplin Crusaders, Stephen Blackiston, alongside Carter Randolph. And Carter, like I said, this is kind of the long end of the season. Big things ahead with the playoffs on the horizon. We'll take a look at the standings so far in this, the Great Plains Division, of course, 2 divisions. The Cyclones currently running away with the Gateway Conference. But as you see right now, Joplin sitting in 2 spot in this division. Titans at the 4 hole, trying to stay in that pace to get to that second seed and that bye crucially in the playoffs.
Exactly, Stephen. I mean, it doesn't get any more important than today as both teams are fighting for position in the playoffs and are looking to get some momentum going as this season does wind down. And we got 2 big hitters for both teams as Kendall Holmes looks to lead the charge for the Crusaders, and we got Julius Sebastiano leading the charge for the Midwest Titans. Both guys been around a while, know how to get it done for their respective teams. And, Steven, I can't wait to get this thing started, man.
Yeah, certainly. It should be a good one as you look at the standings. Again, the Bears kind of running away with the division. They have a game, should be starting here before too long against the Generals down in Northwest Arkansas. Should be a win for them to move to 7-0. But the interesting story, like we said, the 2, 3, 4, and really 5 are the interesting points of conflict in this division. Joplin, Wichita, the Midwest Titans here, and Tulsa all trying to vie to get to that 2 seed as we take a look at the bracket as things were to stand right now. As you see on that left side of the screen, Midwest Titans would host the Gators currently in that wild card weekend round, and then Wichita would host the sole remaining team in the Great Plains Conference in the St. Joe's Swarm. Joplin, Oklahoma City would be your 2 byes going into that second round of the divisional round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And every team you just named is a force to be reckoned with. Like we've been talking about all season, the Great Plains Conference is, for needless to say, the big conference of the 2. I mean, there is a heavy hitter at every standing there. And like you said, the Titans, the Skyhawks, and the Crusaders, all big names. The Bears at the top of them all. So, I mean, this is going to be a battle until the very end of the season, until we get this playoff started. But it all starts here with the Titans and the Crusaders. Man.
Certainly does. We're just a couple minutes away from kickoff. But, yeah, importantly to note, last thing on the bracket, similar to the NFL, the remaining lowest seed going into that second round would get to host or get to go travel, the pleasure to go play the Oklahoma City Bears. The highest remaining seed would go to that 2 seed, yet to be determined there. But the Bears have already, with a win tonight, would lock up at least a first-round bye into the playoffs. Their return to the semi-pro level has been, I'd say, quite successful so far. 6-0, looking to get to 7-0 and remain undefeated. But as we take a look at, the field here today at Hughes Stadium, Carter, it is, as we've talked about ad nauseum before we got on air, quite hot today.
Yeah, and like we see, the Crusaders have the black jerseys on, so it is going to be tough, and it is going to be tough quick because it is about 93 degrees here. No wind. I mean, it is brutal, but I will say when that sun drops, it will get a little better out here, but we got to get there first. Steven.
Yeah, certainly do. The sun going to set probably in about a couple hours here at Hughes Stadium in Joplin. But, yeah, that's the other thing, too, is as we get ready for the national anthem. Turf a little bit hotter as well than a normal natural grass field.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it is tough, and it is going to be hot, and you got to have a lot of water, and hopefully these boys have been preparing for today because, I mean, just drinking water today probably won't do you any good when it comes to cramps and things like that.
Yes, I was going to say certainly, what's the old adage is hydration starts days in advance, that preparation.
No doubt.
We'll take a quick commercial break and get you to kick off here in a moment. You're watching the Southern Sports Network's coverage of Semi-Pro Saturday night.
Since 1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit Dickies.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
Well, as we get the national anthem out of the way, that's one of the things I know last time we were here, Carter. They don't have a flag at the stadium, so everybody's saluting a empty flag pole, but the spirit still remains the same.
That's what it's all about, baby.
But importantly, to mention the Midwest Titans, the visitors today, going to be on that far sideline in white with orange numerals. Like we've already mentioned, Carter, Joplin going to be in the black jerseys, silver pants, and I guess you'd call that chrome numbers. Well, definitely a fashionable choice, maybe not a comfortable choice for the hosts today.
Yeah, I can't imagine it is. I mean, they have their new red jerseys, so I figured they'd be showing those out. But now they went with the all black, and even the helmets are black, so I'm sure they're going to be feeling that heat early. But if we know one thing about the Crusaders is they play physical, and they play right now. So I'm expecting them to get off and get started early.
Yeah, and going back to something you mentioned in the open, Kendall Holmes going to be the quarterback again for Joplin. Wait to see when Jacob Parker will return. If he's back for the playoffs, that I think changes a lot for the Crusaders' chances, just because of his level of experience. Not to say Kendall's not a good player, but there is something to be said for playing at a Power 5 school in Iowa State and in the Big 12. But will be interesting to see when he returns to action, but it's going to be Kendall Holmes' team until that point. Saw him getting loose in warm-ups. What do you expect out of him, or what does the Crusaders need out of him today to find a way to victory?
Well, if I know one thing about Kendall Holmes, it's he's fast as lightning. And if he sees any sort of daylight in the O-line or outside the tackles, he's going to take it. So this Midwest Titan team better be ready to run, at least their Midwest Titan defense, because Kendall Holmes is going to look to take advantage of every opportunity to use his legs. And then when you get used to him running so much, he just likes to throw one over the top. So Kendall Holmes is a great player, but like you said, back to Jacob Parker, if he does end up coming back for the playoffs, that will just open this Crusader offense up immensely. And it'll be real hard to stop because the run game will be solid and the pass game will be just as good almost.
Yeah, and that's a thing. This is a Joplin team, defending champions of the CMFL. Have looked maybe a little shaky at times, and maybe not as much confidence in this team as there was a year ago. I think a Park-led offense maybe can get some people to buy back into that. Be curious to see, just watching warm-ups for the Titans, though. Julius Sebastiano had quite the arm on it, was throwing balls in the air from the 45 to the goal line during warm-ups. Tight spirals from him. Will be interesting to see what that Titans offense can do against a Crusaders defense that's been pretty stingy so far this season.
And early on, we saw a little bit of a shakiness to this Joplin Crusader team. And if there's any shakiness today, the Midwest Titans will try and take advantage because they're hard-nosed. They traveled a long way to be here, and they came to play football. So I expect them to be hard-nosed from the start and want to get on top of the Crusaders early here.
Yeah, and that's the thing about semi-pro. The Titans, you mentioned this, they have traveled relatively well. I would say that if not, I haven't counted them per jersey, but just the eyeball test, they look to be pretty similar in terms of numbers as the host. Normally Joplin, I feel like has that advantage playing here in the confines of their home stadium, but Midwest, I want to keep calling them Minnesota. Midwest Titans have traveled and traveled well.
Yeah, no doubt. And when you come down to Joplin, I mean, the Crusaders have been around for 20-plus years. They're a very experienced organization, so it's never an easy task to come play the Men in Black. But I think the Titans are a team that can come down here and make a statement, especially with the playoffs looming so close.
No, I certainly agree, and want to give, while we have a moment before we get underway, head coach Robert Webb, if he's the guy who put this together, but the roster for the Midwest Titans, one of the best ones. We get a lot of interesting rosters in semi-pro, but the Titans, they go numerical order, which perfect. You'd be surprised how many times that gets messed up. Heights, weights, positions, and then you get their previous college experience and high school experience. So I can tell you, Julius Sebastiano, former quarterback at Avila University, went to Winnetonka High School here in Missouri.
Okay, yeah. Number 15 is what his number is, and Robert Webb just wanted to say A+ on the depth chart.
Yeah.
Couldn't have asked for anything better. And we are about to get underway here, Stephen, as the Crusaders look like they're going to be receiving here to start us off in Joplin.
Yeah, Joplin will receive the opening kickoff. Titans yet to take the field. And we'll get to see that Joplin offense first. Talk to head coach Sam Sturgis before the game and just talking through game plan, his thoughts on today's game. Wasn't quite sure, how they were going to start this offensive campaign. I know back when we were here for that Falcons game, he wanted to go to the air, get that ball deep quickly. We'll see maybe if it's same song, second verse, or maybe just a bit more of the ground attack as we're still waiting. Finally, the Titans will break the huddle as they've all congregated there under their tent on the sideline.
And, yeah, I can totally agree with that style of offense they've had before, as you definitely want to get Kendall into a little bit of a groove offensively, especially with his throwing. But, I mean, we all know what Kendall's about. If you've seen a Joplin Crusader game here in the past year or two, Kendall is quick, man. So, I mean, if you can get him going on the outside, get his confidence up a little bit early, I just see great things coming your way.
It looks like everybody almost is lined up for the Midwest Titans. A couple of stragglers, including the kicker, which I feel like may be the most important part for this Carter.
I wouldn't be surprised here, Stephen, if we saw a little bit of trickery here to start things off, just to let the Crusaders know we came here to win. We came here to jump on your throats early.
And that's the thing, I think, with the Titans, we saw that as well with the Falcons earlier this season here in Joplin, that there's a little bit of a target on your back when you're the reigning champion.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big feather in your cap if you can come here and knock this team off at any juncture of the season. But I think should be ready to go. And let's have a score to report for you. Earlier in the day, the Bears, like we mentioned in the open, they have moved on to be undefeated. 7-0, 45-12 over the Warcats of Arkansas. That one down there in Greenland, right outside of Fayetteville. So Bears have improved to 7-0. I believe have locked up then a first-round bye. Just we'll kind of wait to clinch a division championship here in the coming weeks.
And that is a hard-nosed win right there. I saw the Warcats play a couple weeks ago, and they are big and fast, so that is a good job by the Oklahoma City Bears. As we are underway, it's a little squibber right down the middle of the field.
Yeah, not a very deep kick. It is handled by Joplin. Looks like on the return is going to be Trevor Sourjohn. And the first possession for the Crusaders going to start at their own 35. Good field position, as like you mentioned, maybe something trickeration from the Titans, but nothing there in terms of fooling anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit more of that. As don't want to give those returners any sort of daylight or any opportunity here. Dig yourself a hole early.
The last time we were here, it was the Falcons who actually took one to the house on a kickoff return. So, yeah, definitely no stranger to that here at Hughes Stadium. The huddle broken for the first time for the Crusaders.
I know we talked about Kendall Holmes here before, but another player to watch here for the Crusaders is number 29, Elliot Hawkins. He is a huge body and a big physical presence here for the Crusaders offense.
On first down, out across the 40 to the 45 and a little bit more is Charles West, the 6-foot running back. It'll be enough to move the sticks on the first play of the game, and we talked about that. It looks like Joplin going to start the game on the ground and maybe establish some physicality early in this one.
And I like the first play call, just try and see if the Titans defense can move side to side. And right there, they were a little slow getting off, but only able to scavenge for 5 was the Crusaders offense. So good start on both ends.
Troubling stat, I would say that we played one play and we've already had one official timeout.
I know. I was wondering, I was like, who is already calling a timeout? Looks like they just need to figure something out here. But
I see the culprit. We don't have a chain crew.
Oh, yep. Been there before. First time I ever came to this game, one of the chain crew guys only had one leg. So let me tell you about that. It was a little bit slow moving around. But I don't think we'll have that problem here today.
Yeah, it looks like we have a couple of willing volunteers.
A couple of nice 10-year-old kids going to help us out, I think.
Yeah. As we wait to get the chain gang set up, another couple of scores at the half. The Falcons up 6-3 on the Missouri Cyclones. That would be quite the upset in the Gateway Conference. The Cyclones have kind of been running away with that division. We know what the Falcons can do. I really thought when they came to Joplin back earlier in the season, I really thought that they could be a team to knock off Joplin in that second half if a couple things go their way. The ball bounces a different way, but that's an interesting score to report at the half. We'll see if the Cyclones can kind of wake up in quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, the Falcons definitely a team you can't take a week off for because they are ready to play, and they are good and balanced and got a good sense of camaraderie on that team. You know, a long ways coming from St. Louis to come play down here in Missouri, Oklahoma sometimes. So it takes a kind of brotherhood to get that thing going.
Well, after the delay for the chain gang, 1st and 10 again for the Crusaders. This one a little bit more manageable run for Elliott Hawkins. He'll get right to the top of that lion head here at Hughes Stadium and pick up about 4. I'll make it a 2nd and 6 or so as they move the numbers back off the sideline. I noticed that as well in pregame. The sideline numbers right against the sideline, not back behind the coach's box.
I got a feeling all of those are going to be pushed back by the end of the game. It looks like they are right in the way.
Yeah, at one point or another as we approach 13 minutes in this first quarter. Another quick play out to the flat, to the far
West
side.
Again.
Yep, hit out in stride and into Titans territory with ease that time by Charles West. A little swing out as maybe Kendall Holmes' strength as a passer. Those quick hitters make him one step, bang, and throw. Able to pick up big and into Titans territory for the first time.
It's probably the best thing you could ask for if you're Kendall Holmes. Just a nice, easy throw with a big surplus at the end. A nice 15-yard gain there from Charles West, moving them closer into enemy territory.
Still trying to figure out the sticks, it looks like, over there, as maybe their first time doing it. But they're all set up, and we will resume play. Crusaders knocking on the door of the red zone. Another RPO. Holmes going to look to the air, lofts one end zone. That one too tall for Tejon Curry. It falls incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Tejon, he had a step or two on his defender, but Kendall Holmes ends up floating it a little bit out of bounds, and that's where that first throw comes into play because you need to get into a groove, and yes, that was a little off, but I imagine it could have been worse first throw of the game.
Certainly, and I think that was a little bit of a carbon copy, Carter, as well, of that previous play, that RPO trying to get it out to West in the flat. That one was covered and had to make Kendall maybe make a couple of decisions, a couple of reads to see where he could go with that football.
You'll see that split back set from the Crusaders often here. That is a formation they like to run a lot, get Elliott and a quick guy right behind him.
Yeah, hit out in the middle of formation. That time is Trial Johnson, the 5'9" receiver for the Crusaders. Will move the sticks and the crew into the red zone for the first time this afternoon.
Kendall looking really good here on this first drive, making his reads, finding the open receiver, and hitting him right in the chest. So couldn't complain if you're a Crusader fan right now.
Been some pretty soft defense from the Titans. 1st and 10. Holmes looking end zone again. And this time well overthrown his intended target of Tejon Curry.
I don't think Curry saw that one until really late. It was a little bit overthrown anyway, but I think that actually worked out in their favor because that defender had a better chance than Curry did.
Yeah, he certainly did that time for the Titans. Twice now they've tried to go to Curry, and both have been a little too long for the 6'2", 205 receiver.
He is a big playmaker on this team, and you will see him on both sides of the ball. He is a presence. He's quick, strong, and got the size to back it up.
And I imagine we'll see a lot more guys both sides of the ball tonight just by looking at the sidelines. 2nd and 10, quick hitter out into the flat again, complete. A lot of Titans there this time to corral Charles West as he maybe picks up a yard at best. Don't bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Crusaders, and the Titans will make a line change to bring up this first 3rd down of the contest.
And I think we see our first heat victim, Steve, and Charles West is down after running out of bounds. I think he's good, but He looks exhausted already, and we aren't even at the 10-minute mark. So that is something to keep track of, Steven.
Certainly, just so far in this drive, West has gotten a handoff, gotten 3 targets. So he's definitely been the bell cow so far. 3rd down. Holmes going to look to throw across the middle of the formation, complete right at the goal line, going to be a yard short, as that's Tyron Johnson in amongst a crowd. Holmes finds him, and this is a perfect opportunity, 1st and goal for the Crew to put their name on the board first.
And that was almost a perfect throw from Kendall. Didn't lead his receiver as much because there was a defender right in his pass, so slowed him down a bit, and definitely saved it as there's touchdown Crusaders, first one of the day here in Joplin.
Yeah, little RPO pressure into the backfield, but they go back to Johnson a second time to put the first 6 points on the board. We'll await the extra point. That drive taking just about 4.5 minutes of game action, methodical pace down the field for the Crew.
Seemed like chunk play after chunk play, nothing short, all 10 to 15 yards. Nice solid start for the Crusaders. And I was interested to see what they did here. I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of 2 points.
Holmes
2-point conversions.
Going to look, scramble out of the pocket, pressure from the Titans trying to get there. Lofted into the back of the end zone, and Johnson this time can't bring it in.
I'm saying the same thing as Kendall Holmes. How does he not catch that? No one was around him. He floated it up for him and just kind of let it drop. I can't believe he didn't bring that in.
Well, we have played 4.5 minutes, and the Crew find themselves ahead 6-0.
Tyrone Johnson letting that 2-point conversion fall. I guess he just kind of thought the play was dead. I mean, it looked like Kendall might have stepped out, but then you see the ref give the incomplete sign. So.
It should be interesting to see now how the Titans respond. We could see that offense march down the field potentially, as that was the thing we talked about in the open. Jacob Park, whenever he comes back, Kendall Holmes making a case on that opening possession that, hey, I'm your guy. I was the guy who got you to the promised land last year. Mm-hmm. Remember me? Able to march it down the field with pretty much an easy move, good throws and good completions. Just a couple of overthrows, but overall a good opening stanza from the Crusaders.
And my thought process behind that is, you got to go with the guy that's gotten you here. You can't just shake up the whole offense just because a big-time player, no doubt. Jacob Parker is a guy that can make a difference. But Kendall Holmes, he's in rhythm. He's been here. I think you just got to stick with him. But like I said earlier, you can mix in some other plays. You don't just have to stick with him the whole game. Maybe stick him in there for a possession. If something's a little dead, a little slow, definitely don't mind a 2-quarterback system. But I think at the start you got to go with Kendall Holmes either way.
Well, looks like everybody lined up as we wait for some of the coaches to get off the field after that touchdown. Trevor Sourjohn, the kicker for the Crusaders. As toe meets leather, we're back underway. Titans looking to set up a return. Out to the edge. Across the 40. Across the 45. Fighting for midfield. As I believe that's Jay Robinson. As the Crusaders give up another big kickoff return, and the Titans have excellent field position to get this first drive of the night going.
Jay Robinson with a big start to this Titans offensive possession, getting them down to the 50. You couldn't ask for anything better if you're Julius Sebastiano. 50 yards to go with a big set of guys next to him. I'm ready to see what this offense could do for the Titans.
Yeah, we'll see what this Titans offense has in store. Last week fell to the Skyhawks 28-12 on the road, so can put some points up. Maybe not necessarily a prolific offense potentially, but they'll start in the pistol. Sebastiano there with the orange socks. Surveys the defense. And they'll go to the air on the first play on the offensive side, Mitchell his intended target, and he'll get close to the first down, be about 2 yards short. As, he'll hit his intended target, Jamal Mitchell.
I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of that today, Steven, after seeing Mitchell catch the ball. Had a nice stiff arm off that first tackler and then was able to make a couple moves, get a couple extra yards. So I got a feeling they're going to try and abuse that here today because I don't think a lot of people can cover Jamal Mitchell.
And this is interesting as well. I didn't see this out of Joplin their first possession, but a huddle or at least after these first 2 plays for the Titans. That's a great way, if you think that you're going to be trying to challenge for an upset in this game, slow the game down, take time away. As on 2nd and short, a little counterplay will be close again to the line to the first down mark, but nothing there for Robinson. I think he maybe got a yard, so it should bring up a 3rd and inches.
Good job by number 25, Joe Gritz, able to make that first contact on the cutback. And he is a linebacker, a little bit undersized, but, man, just seems to make every play that comes in his way. So definitely look out for number 25 for that Crusaders defense.
Well, the Titans break the huddle for their first 3rd down of the day. Working 3 backs in the backfield. Just an inside handoff, now for the first down and a little more as the drive will continue. I believe that is Jeremy Brown, the running back that time. Hard to tell. They have the jersey up above the kidney pads, so the 2 maybe looks like a 3, the 3 maybe looks like a 2.
Yeah, Jeremy Brown, 5'11", 200 pounds, good size running back. So 3rd and 2, why not go for a little short, quick run and see if he can power his way through. And that moves him to the 42. I'm kind of expecting Sebastiano to kind of let his legs run a little bit, see if he can make anything happen.
A fresh set of downs. 8 minutes to go in the quarter. Sebastiano going to look to the sky, sets his feet, throws, and that one too tall for Mac Mari.
I think he got away with that one. There was 2 black jerseys there that I think could have easily gotten a hand on that. So Sebastiano kind of needs to make his reads a little bit quicker and know that sometimes he just has to break the pocket and try and get away, scavenge.
I'll bring up 2nd and 10. At the second pass of the game for the Titans. First incompletion. Again, as things stand, playoffs coming into today, they'd host the Gators in the first round. That'd be the 4-5 game. Sebastiano, blitz might be coming from the Crusaders. They got a lot of guys at the line of scrimmage.
Expect them to get rid of it quick if they do.
Blitz does come. Quick handoff, and the Crusaders are right there to hog-tie Jeremy Brown. He pretty much ran right into the blitz that time, and this is a long 3rd down to start the game for the Titans.
Yeah, and that's when I think you kind of want your quarterback can take control and maybe get out of that play, because I don't think that one had a chance from the beginning because, I mean, like you said, there was about 4 different linebackers for the Crusaders coming down trying to get on the quarterback quick. So I think he needed to do some sort of quick pass, audible out of that, but we'll see how they adjust to it.
Yeah, especially maybe in a situation like that, that's another great way to maybe a little play action or a draw, just something to keep that defense, that blitzing defense, honest in that situation. 3rd and long as we approach the 7-minute mark. This has been a long drive time-wise. Sebastiano back to the sky. It's complete out on the far side, but not enough for the first down. It'll be a 4th and short. I believe that was Leland Anderson potentially there on the catch.
I expect a lot of four down territory here, so that's a nice 3rd down play just to make it 4th and reasonable here as they're in near the Crusader 30.
Looks like maybe another blitz coming. But first, we'll have a penalty marker. Our first one in the game. Let's see here. False start. And after all that effort on the 3rd down to make this a manageable 4th down play, going to back them up 5 free ones.
Titans with the drive killer right there. Went from 4th and manageable to 4th and real long. we'll see how they change the play or if they stick with what they had. Got to think they're going back to number 5, Jamal Mitchell, though. From what I've seen from this offense, it seems like he's that big playmaker here for the Titans offense.
Titans going to break the huddle. 6:30 in the quarter as the clock moves.
Mitchell going to set up in the slot.
4 receivers in the pattern. Sebastiano surveying. Going to take a shot down the field.
Has a guy.
Intercepted in the end zone. I believe that was Brendan Nelson who came down with the turnover. All in all, I think, though, if you are a Titans fan, that's not the worst thing that could happen. Essentially, a punt. That's a touchback. You get the ball at the 20 or 25, excuse me. But, you know, you're on the 45. You're kind of on that range of do you punt it, do you go for it. Still don't want to necessarily commit the turnover, but all things considered, maybe not the worst thing in the world as it puts the Titans defense back out there.
Yeah. If you're Sebastiano, you definitely can keep your head held high after that. I mean, yeah, you probably need to lead it out there a couple more yards, but like you said, was not a bad throw. Didn't end bad for the Titans at all as the Crusaders still have 80 yards to go. But, yeah, something to build on here for that Titans offense. And I expect them to get back in enemy territory a couple more times here tonight.
And good job by Nelson for the Crusaders going up high points the ball as the DB in that situation comes down with the turnover. As we'll see Kendall Holmes a second time.
So they're going to stick to the pass here, and he's going to let it go. Has a man.
Oh, and right in and out of the hands of the intended receiver that time. I believe that's Charles West, who in the first possession of the game was reliable. That time left his hands at home.
He was too open, I think, Steven, and I know he wishes he could have that one back. My goodness, a dot from Kendall Holmes, and it just ends up falling. But, man, you don't see that too often from Charles West.
Yeah, no, West had his man beat. He was off to the races. If he could have brought that one in, that had 6 written on it.
Would have been a heck of a start here for this Crusaders offense, 14-0, if he would have came up with that catch. Just under 5:30 here in the first.
Holmes, little play action, pressure in the backfield. Titans trying to get to him for the first sack of the game. Evades it with his speed. Wobbler downfield. Flag going to come in. Might have a defensive holding down the field.
I was going to say it looked like the white jersey was grabbing the black jersey a little too much there, but in all actuality, I think you just got to let those men play right there and just let that be a football play.
I think that was intended for Tyrone Johnson. Again, though, to your point back at the beginning of the broadcast, Holmes showing his elusiveness, a couple of Titans defenders bearing down on him, able to slip out of the pocket and try and make something positive happen down the field.
I swear, sometimes it looks like Kendall Holmes is running through mud, but, man, he is moving every single time. I thought he was dead to rights right there, ends up rounding the corner, almost turns it into a 20-yard play.
Well, it's going to be a defensive hold on the Titans. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty, an automatic first down.
Another flag hurting the Titans. Would have been 3rd and 10 right there. Now it's going to be 1st and 10, moving them up 5 with the automatic first down. And after a couple pass plays, I expect Sam to kind of slow it down here, the head coach. Let old big boy Elliot Hawkins give him 3 or 4 here. Say play action.
Well, RPO action. Complete to Williams. Williams fighting, gets across the 40, and that keeps the sticks rolling for the Crusaders as we have an injured Titan.
He's grabbing his left. Oh, my goodness. I think that could be bad, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to go to break real quick. We'll be right back. It's the Southern Sports Network.
With the taste of friends, family, and backyard barbecues. Bentonville Brewing Company. Family owned, family operated, family friendly. Pick up a 6-pack of your favorite IPA, porter, sours, or any one of the delicious flavors Bentonville Brewing has to offer. Or enjoy a cold one on tap at your favorite restaurant. Bentonville Brewing Company. Quality, consistency, assume your natural state. Bentonville Brewing Company, Bentonville, Arkansas.
Well, welcome back as they continue tending to the injured Midwest Titan. We'll take another commercial break. Be back in a moment.
Since 1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit Dickeys.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
We are a community of athletes that celebrate success and development while having fun and being safe.
We do a pretty rigorous testing to all of our athletes to track progress as we go.
Our athletes are 10% faster, 179% stronger. They jump 4 inches higher on average. They're 8% more agile and 9% quicker.
You can come in, get extremely high quality training, accelerate your athletic abilities.
Head on over to prodaysports.com.
Come try, see if you enjoy it. For $1, it's worth it.
A tradition of education.
Welcome back as we get set to resume game action. The injured Titan to report, Leland Anderson out of Blue Springs South High School up in the Kansas City area, as he was assisted off the field. I believe his day should be done. He's couldn't put any pressure on one of his legs, so hate to see that, especially this early in a game and especially this late into the season with the playoffs right around the corner.
Yeah, definitely a big loss for the Midwest Titans, but I'm sure Anderson wants his boys to go out there and keep playing hard. But, yeah, going to be tough to fill his shoes because Leland Anderson is a playmaker for this Titans defense, no doubt.
It'll be interesting to see how the Titans respond. I think it's one of these plays where it can kind of go either way. It sort of lets all the air out of the balloon, or you can rally around an injured comrade, but the show must go on. Kendall Holmes back at quarterback. Holmes looking to the air, going to take the top off the defense again. This time it's complete and into the end zone this time for a Crusaders touchdown. Tejon Curry making it look easy from A to B that time. Puts another 6 points on the board.
Steven, it wasn't the first. I'm sure it won't be the last. That Holmes-Curry connection is there. And for some reason, Kendall Holmes has just wanted to air it out today, and he has thrown some dots. What a throw from number 1 right there.
Yeah, he has come to play. And interestingly, Leland Anderson plays safety for the Titans defense. You think in a situation like that, some safety help probably comes over the top. Mm-hmm. That's the sort of thing in semi-pro, when you lose a player like that, you lose maybe a big valley in talent between those two positions. So we'll need to continue to keep an eye on that as this game progresses. But another 2-point try opportunity as the Crusaders look to extend this lead by 2 scores.
Yep, Crusaders firing on all cylinders right now as we're just under 4 minutes left.
I believe they got Hawkins in at quarterback. Excuse me, they have
Charles
West running the offense for this play. A little wildcat. He's going to call his own number.
Just tried to follow the big boy, but too many white jerseys. Going to be another failed 2-point conversion. So it is 12-0. Crusaders on top.
Yeah, before we go to break, let's take another quick look at this touchdown play as it just was dropped in the bucket. Holmes showing off the arm strength early in this game.
Yeah, it's a quick 3-step drop. And just rears back and lays it out there. And luckily, Curry's almost just as fast as Kendall, and he runs right underneath that thing. And that's a nice 60-yard, 70-yard touchdown.
It should be interesting to see how the Titans respond. They had some promise on that first offensive possession. They picked up a first down, got close to potentially picking up a second to keep that drive alive. We'll take a quick commercial break. Our score 12-0 Joplin, extending the lead in the first quarter.
With a taste of friends, family, and backyard barbecues. Bentonville Brewing Company. Family owned, family operated, family friendly. Pick up a 6-pack of your favorite IPA, porter, sours, or any one of the delicious flavors Bentonville Brewing has to offer. Or enjoy a cold one on tap at your favorite restaurant. Bentonville Brewing Company. Quality, consistency, assume your natural state. Bentonville Brewing Company, Bentonville, Arkansas.
Well, welcome back as we get set to get back underway. 3:45 to go in this first quarter. Onside kick returned by the Titans right into the hands that time of Brandon Harris out of Missouri Valley University.
A little trickery right there. The Crusaders wanted more. They wanted to put another score on the board, but number 43 able to fall on it and just gets down because he does not want to get laid out. So the Titans are in great field position once again, though. I mean, the kickoff return got them to the 50, and now they're going to be about on the 45 in enemy territory.
Yeah, I was going to say it should be a shame if the Titans don't come away with points on this possession. Your first two starting field positions are midfield and about the opponent 47. So when you start in plus territory, you have to come away with something. So Titans really need to look to get towards the end zone, sustain a drive this time, especially as we've seen the other side. Their defense has had some trouble stopping Kendall Holmes.
No doubt. I mean, it is early in this game. Plenty of time to make something happen. But if you're the Titans, you definitely want some positivity out of this offensive possession.
A little jet sweep around the far side. Across the Crusaders 45, but not much farther than that was number 9, Mac Mari, on that jet sweep motion. And that's a good drive starter for the Titans.
One of the many speedsters on this Titans team, Mari, able to get around the tackles quick and often. That time he was able to scavenge his way for about 6 or 7.
And I think, just by looking at the alignment of the Crusaders defense, had a good adjustment to start this possession. Crew have a bunch of players within that tackle box, get that ball to the outside, and see what they can do with their speed. We'll see as the Titans break the huddle for second and medium.
Titans loving this deuce formation on offense. As they motion Mari again.
Blindside pressure. Sebastiano can't avoid, and we have our first sack lunch of the day.
A little bit of extracurricular activity right now. Yep, and there goes the laundry. A white and a black jersey going back and forth.
Well, we made it, 12 minutes?
Exactly. Almost made it to the end of the first quarter, but couldn't do it.
It's hot outside. The players are hot. The tempers are hot, I suppose. So we'll see if there's any ejections to follow this, or just going to be some offsetting penalties, and we'll replay the down.
And it did warrant a flag, but I kind of like that sort of attitude. Two guys, two big boys just driving at each other, trying to get a little bit of the edge on the competition, for lack of a better term. But it did warrant a flag, like I said, but I kind of like that sort of competitiveness, no doubt, Steven.
A personal foul on both sides, so those will offset. As we'll just wipe that play from the history books and start over.
Never happened. Yep. This is the good thing about when two teams start going at each other. Usually they're going to offset, and it's just going to be a slap on the wrist for both teams. Maybe a little bit of a fine here or there.
Well, 2:41 to go in the quarter. The Titans going into the sunset. Sebastiano will send a man in motion. This time going to go to the ground with the tailback, and going to be met right at the line of scrimmage, and that's about as far as the Titans will get this time.
Yeah, I've been very impressed by this Crusader D-line, as almost every run play that they've tried to run between the tackles has been shut down almost immediately. After the first play was a good run, 2 back-to-back run stuffers. I mean, cannot complain for his Crusaders defense right now. 1 more to go. And like I said earlier in the broadcast, I'm assuming it's going to be four down territory for both teams. So maybe look for a run here from the Titans just to make it third and real short.
Yeah, the kicking game, not much priority at this level.
Almost non-existent.
The Titans will take a timeout. We'll take the timeout with them. Your score here at Fred G. Hughes Stadium in Joplin, 12-0. The defending champions lead the Titans.
Since 1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit Dickeys.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
Welcome back to Joplin. Out of the timeout, you see their score 12-0. The Crusaders have hit the Titans in the mouth a couple of times early in this quarter. This is the second possession for the Midwest Titans. As we get out of the timeout, 3 receivers near side. Sebastiano going to look that way, avoids the pressure out of the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, uncorks one.
Can't believe he didn't try and run for that. I mean, had plenty of grass in front of him, but just kept his eyes downfield. And I understand you're a quarterback. It's supposed to be throw first, run later. But, man, he had some green grass in front of him right there, Steven.
Yeah, intended for McMurray, but on that play, double coverage on Murray. So it'll be another 4th down for the Titans as they try and string something together at this point.
4th and doable, though. Only 4th and 5. I mean, I think the Titans can come up with something here. Maybe scavenge for another 1st down, save this drive.
The offense has had some potential at times, gotten in the way of themselves, the others. As we'll go back to the pistol formation that they started the game in.
Don't see Jamal Mitchell out there. Might be cramping up or just focusing on defense.
Sebastiano, pressure in the backfield, evades it to begin with. Is able to keep his eyes downfield, complete to a wide open target as the drive will stay alive for the Titans. That play was nearly dead to rights as Sebastiano had a couple of hands on him in black, but able to spin out of the pressure, keeps his eyes down the field.
Great job by Sebastiano, and great job by the receiver to find the open space. But, man, I thought he was going to score, but then Quinnell Johnson comes in and lays the wood on him as he catches the ball. So a touchdown saver from number 5 on the Crusaders' defense.
Yeah, but I think if you're the Titans and head coach Robert Webb, I think you're happy just to keep the offense on the field at this point. You have an opportunity with a minute 55 to go in this quarter to get some points. And potentially maybe even just get out of this quarter only down 2 scores.
Oh, no doubt. I saw at the beginning of that play the head coach's head was already down. I mean, that play looked dead in the water.
Sebastiano wide open, touchdown, Titans.
Defensive breakdown there from Quinnell Johnson. Saves a play, and then, hate to say, but ruins it on the very next one.
Tyler Blewett with the touchdown reception. Doesn't come much easier than that. 15-yard pitch and catch puts the Titans on the board for the first time.
As you see the Crusaders huddling up, trying to talk that one over, who had who was supposed to be where. I mean, you could see it immediately. I mean, that guy was uncovered right off the bat.
Well, this is a big 2-point conversion play. With this, could make it a 4-point game. That's the one element so far the Crusaders have been lacking in. That 2-point game have left some points on the board. Sebastiano, going to survey, quick fires, and again into the hands of Blewett.
Yeah, threaded the needle on that one. 2 black jerseys were closing in fast, but able to put it right in the perfect spot. And that 2-point conversion is successful. It's 12-8 here, Steven.
Yeah, why don't we go back to that touchdown pass for the Titans, take another look at it real quick. As, they get the first down on the 3rd down conversion. They keep the drive alive. Sebastiano surveying. And, he's all alone, Blewett, in the back of the end zone, his own postal code.
Yeah, some sort of defensive breakdown there from the Crusaders, and I can see him right now. They're all huddled together talking about it. And now we see a guy hitting himself on the head. I think he might have been the culprit but I'm sure they'll fix it for that next defensive possession.
We'll take a quick break. Our score 12-8 as the Titans answer.
With a taste of friends, family, and backyard barbecues, Bentonville Brewing Company. Family owned, family operated, family friendly. Pick up a 6-pack of your favorite IPA, porter, sours, or any one of the delicious flavors Bentonville Brewing has to offer. Or enjoy a cold one on tap at your favorite restaurant. Bentonville Brewing Company. Quality, consistency, assume your natural state. Bentonville Brewing Company, Bentonville, Arkansas.
Welcome back to Missouri Southern State University's campus, hosts of the defending CMFL champion Joplin Crusaders. Been around 20-plus years, one of the oldest teams, I would hazard to guess, Carter, in semi-professional football. As they give up their first score of the day, and the Titans have an opportunity to maybe return the favor of an onside kick.
Titans looking to not go down without a fight, and a nice offensive possession there. It was looking a little troubled there. It was 3rd and 10, 3rd and long, but they were able to scavenge that 3rd down to make it a first, and scored on the very next play as Tajon Curry still on his feet.
Yeah, Curry still fighting for extra yards. I almost was going to make the comment that Curry probably should just let that ball go out of bounds and get the illegal procedure, but basically it ends up where that penalty marker would have put him anyway, and the added bonus of running some time off the clock. So about 96 seconds left to go in this first quarter that has been fairly balanced. I would say, scoreboard would favor what the Crusaders are doing and have scored quickly as well. The Titans have been maybe more that methodical offense, Carter.
Yeah, Kendall Holmes, you got a lot of options when he's your QB, and we've seen it here today. I think everyone here thought he was just going to have 100 yards by the end of this first quarter, but instead he has almost 150 throwing yards because he has been throwing dot after dot. So you got to give it up to Kendall Holmes. He is improving his game every week.
Yeah, he's been slinging it all over the field. This will be the 3rd possession for the Crew. High snap over the head of Holmes. Pressure into the backfield. Titans trying to make something happen. Holmes just wisely throws that away, intended, or in the area, I guess, would be Charles West. Is that nearly a disaster as the Crusaders can take a deep breath on that one.
Yeah, scary snap right there. I'm sure Holmes didn't even expect to have that guy right in his face after it. But he could have turned it into positivity, but a little bit of an overthrow there. Like you said, just happy to not lose any yards.
Well, 2nd and 10 after the incompletion is I think they finally have now been able to get some transport for Leland Anderson to get him off the field as he's been camped out with that injury.
Yeah, pray for a speedy recovery there from Mr. Anderson. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Can't wait to see that man back out on the field.
On 2nd down, we have a loose ball on the field. Titans, I believe, are going to fall on it. I believe that was Derek Lewis, big 55 in your program, able to get it back. And that's what we were talking about with this Titan team. They've kind of hung in this game. And, again, they're going to have great field position to start another offensive possession.
The usually strong-handed Elliott Hawkins, someone you can rely on to carry that pigskin with one of his few fumbles of, I'd say, the past 2 years. You will not see that too often from number 29, but couldn't have come at a better time here for the Titans.
Yeah, again, great field position. This is the best of the game. 3 possessions they've started, 50 yards or better, going in for the Midwest Titans.
Sebastiano, after getting into a groove last drive, I bet he's happy to be back out here so quick. Let's see if he can take advantage and maybe take the lead here at Fred G. Hughes Stadium.
Well, he's going to look to the air, across the middle of the pattern, complete in some space. That's going to be D. Downton trying to make a few things happen. Ball pops out, I believe, after the whistle.
Oh, the Crusaders are going to be real mad about that one, Steven. I mean, they had him wrapped up, and then right as that whistle came, the ball came loose. But, I mean, like we all heard, the whistle happened, so that means dead. The ball is dead, and it looks like it's going to be 2nd and about 3.
2nd and short as That touchdown seems to maybe inspire this Titans offense a little bit. They seem to be firing on all cylinders, finding some open spots, some open receivers, as Johnson for the Crusaders is going to run onto the field, grab the tee away from the play. Looks like somebody forgot that from the kickoff. Happens. Sebastiano, pressure in his face, across the middle of the pattern, again complete. And he has Blewett, the man with the touchdown, near the red zone for another first down for the Midwest Titans.
Number 15, Sebastiano, cool and collected with danger right in his face. I mean, he had a couple black jerseys closing in quick and delivers a dart to his receiver for a nice 15 to 20-yard gain.
Yeah, the Titans receivers right now helping their quarterback out, finding those soft spots in zones, sitting down and moving the sticks.
No doubt, as Will Thompson, number 10, steps onto the field for the first time today. Maybe look for a little bit of trickery here in this next play.
11 seconds to go in the quarter. This should be probably the last play. Pitch out to the outside. Titans trying to set it up. We have a flag that will come in. Imagine probably be a holding on one of those receivers out there, as that was Marlon Brown out of Mid-American Nazarene on the pitch. Need to see the marker, and we'll also need to see if they're going to replay this play in this quarter or the next.
Yep, that was the end of the first. But, yeah, big boy Marlon Brown, kind of the Elliott Hawkins of this Midwest Titans team, and with a little bit more pace to him. I mean, he is quick-footed for being a 200, 210 guy, so definitely look for a couple more carries from the big boy, number 20.
Well, it looks like they're going to walk it off the other side. We've played one here in Joplin, CMFL action. Your score, Joplin 12, the Titans 8. Second quarter when we return.
Semi-Pro Saturday is brought to you in part by 950 Ways Graphics. Professional graphics for players, coaches, and teams. Trust the pros at 950 Ways Graphics and look them up on Facebook at 950 Ways Graphics.
Welcome back. It's still the first quarter, actually. Get Carter Randolph, Stephen Blackson here. After the holding penalty, it's going to be first and a country mile for the Titans. Kind of a untimed down. Sebastiano looking end zone, has a target. Oh, and off the fingertips that time for Mari. Right almost into the breadbasket, Carter.
Yeah, Quinnell Johnson came in like a hawk looking to intercept that one, but jumped a little too early, I think, and ends up falling into the Titans receiver's hands, but he can't come up with it. A huge miss right there from this Titans offense.
Well, after the untimed down, all that effort, Mari now gets to run basically 100 yards the other direction.
Exactly.
As we flip into the field, we'll keep it here on the Southern Sports Network. As we get set for second quarter action. Again, only 2 weeks after this game concludes tonight for teams, the remaining teams in the CMFL, as we've reached near the end, and teams are now starting to kind of hit that point where they're dropping like flies. The Diamondbacks, the most recent casualty of the season. That does allow, though, of course, for everybody in the Great Plains Conference to make it into the postseason. As you know, while we have a moment, Carter, we can look again at those standings for Week 6. This is Week 7, so results will be updated on Semi-Pro Saturday on Facebook. You can find that there. Chris Dodson does a great job. The Bears can say have already moved on to 7-0. They've locked up at least a first-round bye. They're going to look to lock up the Great Plains Conference later this season. Again, they won 45-12 today. At the half, the Falcons, the score we have to report, up 6-3 on the Cyclones. That's a big one in the Gateway Conference. But again, Joplin 4-1, Midwest Titans 4-2 right now. That's the battle that we have here. A win for either side puts them in contention to have a chance at locking up that other bye. I will say the Crusaders lost today, though, Carter, would make it really hard with that remaining schedule for them to get back to that first-round bye line.
If not the most important game of the year for both teams, I mean, this game matters on an immense level. Both teams need it. I mean, it could make or break their season. And with the Titans grooving right now, I got to say the pressure is on the Crusaders right here because they do not want to go down to halftime and be down in this game at their home field. So I expect the Crusaders defense to bite and claw right here to try and stop Sebastiano and the Titans offense.
Sebastiano looking to throw again. Eyes downfield. Complete on the sideline. Now the argument is, was he in bounds or not? Official is walking down there, going to mark the ball. Great toe drag swag from Avery Washington that time, able to keep it in bounds and keep the drive moving. Makes this a manageable third down as we take another look at it.
And I forgot my binoculars today, but I thought I saw a little bit of green in between that out-of-bounds line and his foot. So what a play there by the Titans receiver. We have another Titans player down for the count right now.
Yeah, trailing the play. Another Titans player injured. And, I'm looking around, Carter. It's hard to tell. You can't see the number because the player's on his back, but that very well could be Sebastiano. I don't see him in that huddle anywhere.
I think you're right. I don't see a 15 anywhere. I think that might be QB1 here for the Titans. And I didn't see any hit or anything, but I was looking on the other side of the field. So we see it there, just a D lineman just trying to pressure him and get in his face a little bit, maybe with a little bit of a shove. Shoved him onto his back. Hopefully just got the breath knocked out of him.
Certainly, yeah. The only other quarterback listed on the roster for the Titans is going to be number 22, Eric Hoskins, out of Missouri Western State, up in St. Joseph's, Missouri.
He's warming up over there as we speak. Hopped up about 30 seconds ago. Has been throwing that pigskin about 100 miles an hour ever since.
And, it's really been a game of big momentum swings for the Titans. You lose a player early in Leland Anderson with a at least game-ending injury to be determined what the rest of the season looks like. Now you have your starting quarterback in Sebastiano down for the count. Be interesting to see if the Titans can respond in this moment. While they tend to Sebastiano, when I say that, I think he might be getting to his feet, so we'll put a pin in it. Yeah, Sebastiano to his feet. That's good.
Still probably going to take a couple plays off here, but, yeah, of course, losing number 4 Anderson was huge later in that first quarter, but if you lose Sebastiano, it's going to be real tough to try and take this game over if you're the Titans.
Yeah, and that's the important thing. Sebastiano able to get to his feet and walk off under his own power, so definitely doesn't look like maybe anything that will cause him to miss other than a couple of plays, but inserted in his place in the meantime will be Eric Hoskins, and Eric Hoskins is going to come in a big moment, Carter. 3rd and 5 in the red zone, trying to take the lead or at least tie this game for the Titans.
If I'm the Titans right here, 3rd and 5 is manageable, and you got 4th down to try and get another first, so I'm giving it to Marlon Brown, a big number, 20, 5'10", 200 pounds. I'm letting him run it all 5 yards here.
We'll see what the Titans call.
And I do see the big boy himself. He is right next to QB 2, Eric Hoskins.
Low snap, and Nostradamus stands beside me in Carter Randolph as the Titans pick up the first down, and the ball going to stay with Midwest Titans.
And it just seemed like the most obvious play call right there, Steven. You got a guy who's 200, 210 pounds. That's a force to be reckoned. That's hard to bring down for any defender. So, 5 yards to go. Why not just let him try and bulldoze his way?
Yeah, that's simple physics at that point.
Exactly.
Acceleration times mass.
And I failed that class.
Well, as we near 14 minutes, the Titans trying to put 6 on the board with their backup quarterback in the game. 4 receivers set. Another simple handoff for the Titans, and Why not keep running it if Marlon Brown keeps picking you up about 4 or 5 every play?
He's scavenging, and, man, it's just daylight right as he touches the ball for a quick, easy 3 to 4 yards. And the Crusaders were doing well to stop that earlier on, but this drive has not been the same here for that D-line for the Crusaders.
The defense for Joplin has been on the field a lot in this last portion of the first quarter, first part of the second quarter as well. I wonder if starting to see some tired legs early. It is, 90-plus degrees today here in southwest Missouri.
And I didn't mention this earlier, and I just noticed, but big boy number 88, Braxton Reed, a big defensive lineman for the Crusaders, he is not playing this game, so that is a huge loss as the Crusaders make a big stop there on second down.
Yeah, about back to the original line of scrimmage for the Titans. So bring up a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or so. As Titans do have a kicker listed on the roster in 32, Colby Roberts. I don't know if they'll use him in this situation or not, but might not have to if they can pick up the first down. Have to get to the 1-yard line to reset the sticks. Blitz going to come. Quick throw. Tap.
Oh.
Tipped and nearly intercepted. Nearly a pick six, because that one would have been to the house for Joplin.
The Crusaders brought the house right there, Stephen. I mean, there was black jerseys in the backfield almost immediately, but Hoskins able to get it off, and it was almost a good throw, but the linebacker for the Crusaders almost with the sweet one-handed interception, but unable to bring it in.
Yeah, we take another look at it. Near disaster for the Titans, near celebration for the Crusaders. Quick hitter, ball bobbled up in the air, and that's the one thing I think if you're a quarterback, you never want to be laid across the middle because that will happen.
Yep, big T.J. Austin, number 32, with the near interception. As he's having to come off for a play, he must have nicked himself, hurt himself a little bit.
4th down, intercepted in the end zone. Crusaders going to bring it out. Convoy ahead of him. Running down is Quinnell Johnson. Couple of Titans to beat. Crosses the 35 to the 30 and finally knocked out of bounds. That time by Jeremy Brown of the Midwest Titans, as disaster didn't strike on the previous play, but it definitely did that time.
Quinnell Johnson, we've seen him close to a couple big interceptions here early in that first quarter, but that time, I mean, it was like he was running that route right there. Threw it right into the hands of the defender. And then Quinnell Johnson, with his game-changing speed, able to just get off to the races, and luckily that Titans receiver able to run him down, push him out at around the 25, 30-yard line, but still great territory as this Crusader offense comes back out on the field.
Well, it's going to be 1st and 10 for Joplin.
What a change of tides there,
Yeah.
Stephen. I mean, going from a Titan mini comeback, as they were down 12-0 and were in enemy territory, to a big interception, and now the Crusaders could go back to a 2-possession lead here.
Holmes just going to hand it off on 1st down. Looking for a couple blocks downfield. That's West. Still going. Going to fight his way across the Midwest Titans 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal after one play with a little less than 11:30 to go in the half.
Charles West running like a madman. Took about 6 white jerseys to take down number 3. That's the kind of running you love to see out of your offensive weapons. And
West isn't the biggest guy. He's 205, 6 feet, so slender back, but able to use his frame that time.
6'205". That's a pretty big size boy, nice size boy. Charles West using every ounce of his muscle to lower the shoulder and pick up every yard he can.
4 receivers in the pattern. Holmes pulls it from his running back's belly, and touchdown Crusaders. Tyrone Johnson, the recipient this time from Holmes, as the Crew back on the board to extend their lead by 10.
One of the most simplest plays you can call. A quick slant, one guy going outside right underneath, and the defender has to pick. But at the end of the day, the QB has to execute, and Holmes threw a dot right there, threw it right to the chest to his receiver. Nice play.
Yeah, Holmes, the gunslinger in this game so far, as Joplin will attempt to convert their first 2-point conversion of the day. Send a man in motion, opposite direction. Holmes looking end zone. And that one hauled in and completed. So 20-8 your score after another touchdown drive for the reigning champions here on the Southern Sports Network. We'll take a quick commercial break and bring you the response from the Titans when we return.
Semi-Pro Saturday is brought to you in part by 950 Ways Graphics. Professional graphics for players, coaches, and teams. Trust the pros at 950 Ways Graphics and look them up on Facebook at 950 Ways Graphics.
Welcome back to Fred G. Hughes Stadium for CMFL Week 7 action. Crusaders have reestablished some dominance, I feel like, in this game. Carter, it'd be interesting to see if Sebastiano returns to this game. Did leave that last possession, was slow to get up. Would be a big loss for the Titans' chances tonight.
No doubt would be a huge, monumentous loss for the Titans as Sebastiano was really getting into a groove. But first, Jamal Mitchell looking to get his team into even better field position, but not this time, Steven.
Yeah, not this time. This will be the worst starting field position of the day for the Titans. They'll start at about their own 27, which I would say on average for most teams they'd take starting on their own 27. That's +2 from the touchback, but today it's been 50, 47, and I believe 44 yards in opponent's territory to start the day for the Titans. So they're going to have a little bit longer field than used to. Also longer are the shadows, getting closer to sunset. So we'll see if once that sun goes down, if the energy levels kind of maybe rebound for both these teams as that temperature starts to cool down.
Don't worry, Steven. Everyone at this stadium can't wait to get that sun to go down below the hill.
Yeah, I'd say the brave ones are the ones sitting on the far sideline behind the Titans bench. They've been in the sun the entire afternoon.
True fans over there. But quick update, looks like Sebastiano not coming out to this offensive drive as we still have Hoskins under center here for the Titans.
Crusaders, 2 deep safeties. Titans going to throw on first down, and that one near disaster again. That one almost intercepted by Tevin Gibson, but brought in by Powell. Able to pick up the first down and into the 46-yard line of the Titans to keep the drive moving early on.
Nice completion there from Hoskins. He struggled there when he came in at the end of that last drive, but that one just has a nice throw, leads his receiver perfectly, and ends up with a nice, solid 15-yard game, getting closer to the halfway mark here.
Fresh set of downs out of the pistol. Just a simple handoff on 1st and 10 for the Titans. Trying to get to the outside edge. Nothing there. Great open field tackle that time by Daquan Johnson. Out there on an island. Has to make an individual effort play and able to do so.
And that's when you gain the respect to your teammates. A cornerback who's really just known for locking down the receiver, lowering his shoulder pads, and making the big-time tackle there on the edge.
I'd say also you earn the respect of the other team as well. Can't bust that out to the outside again. We know there's some hard-hitting corners on that Crusaders defense.
No doubt. Definitely going to be in the back of that Titans offensive schemer's mind as he's going to know that he might not be able to run that way like he wants. And
that's the thing I would say is also interesting, Carter, so far is the Titans have had success between the tackles running the football. It's just when they try and get that thing to the outside, that's the issues they've had.
Yeah, and early on it seemed like it was the opposite, but yeah, this heat, I think, getting to this Crusader defense as Hoskins looking to reach out.
Deep ball. Underthrown. His intended target, Jamal Mitchell. There's a flag on the play. I'm not entirely sure. it's going to be a defensive pass interference, I believe. But I'm not entirely sure that's a warranted defensive pass interference, in my opinion.
And that's just kind of a blessing from the football gods, as Hoskin underthrew that one by about 10 yards, and the only one that noticed was Jamal Mitchell. So Jamal comes back for it. The defender doesn't even know that the ball's underthrown, ends up running right into him. But I kind of agree with you. Might have been a little touchy right there. Don't know if there was too much contact, but I think there was enough to warrant the laundry.
And, of course, because this is professional modified rules, that's a 35-yard penalty on the defensive pass interference and a near immediate red zone possession for the Titans on 2 plays.
They also get a free 2 points, Steven. Don't know if you knew that one. Just kidding, folks at home. No, they don't.
It's semi-pro. You never know. You never know here.
Huge play here from the Titans offense, though, nonetheless.
It is certainly a momentum play. We'll see if the Titans can do anything with the gift. They're going to go trips near side, one on the far. 2 safeties to match for the Crusaders.
First time I've seen this bunch set.
They're going to go to the ground and keep it conservative on 1st and 10.
Nice job by the running back, able to shimmy his way between the tackles, scavenge around 3. Didn't think that was going anywhere after he got the first touch.
And I'm not entirely sure. I believe, for the viewers at home, I believe it's actually not Hoskins in at quarterback. I was looking. I believe it might be D. Downton, the receiver, running the offense. Looked like a number 18 ran to the sideline to get a play. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like Downton is going to be the quarterback. I guess Hoskins maybe has moved on from playing quarterback, maybe moved on from playing with the Titans, maybe just not here today. As back to the ground game goes the Midwest Titans. Good pro cut and hop near the first down that time is Jay Robinson, the former Griffin. Keeps the drive moving and makes it a manageable 3rd down.
Good hard-nosed running right there. Right as he touched the ball, he was pumping his legs quick and hard and running downhill. Got to respect it. And the Titans, they're in dangerous position here. They could put some more points on the board, make this a ball game again.
Yeah, it feels like we were just here in this situation with the Titans as well. As, kudos also to that offensive line, opening up some holes now for this Titans rushing game. Back to the ground, trying to hit it outside. Somebody loses their hat. It looks like it's a Crusaders player, going to be Antoine Baker in there to make the stop. And, again, trying to break something to the outside. No success for the Titans. And it brings up a 4th and 4 for the visitors.
Not on number 16's watch. He came down with a purpose and laid the wood. And I honestly thought that was the offensive man's helmet. But nope, Antoine Baker needed to strap up a little bit more. But, man, what a hit from number 16.
A big decision again, as last time Titans were in this situation, nearly a pick 6. It flipped the field, and pretty much you could go ahead and put 6 points on the board after that play for the Crusaders. But Titans looking to learn from previous mistakes. Under 7 minutes to go in the half. All-out blitz again. Draw play, beautifully designed, and into the end zone goes Marlon Brown. No penalty markers or anything, as a nice little scamper for the Titans on the ground.
Marlon Brown, arm tackles do not work on Marlon Brown. I saw 3 black jerseys try and stick an arm out on him, and he ran right through him. Nice, hard run from number 20.
Well, and that's the adjustment you make also if you're the Titans. The Crusaders have been blitzing everybody at the line of scrimmage all night in these situations. They make them pay and just run through the hole that the players on the defense were standing in previously.
Titans coach is doing a good job after that first possession where things were a little shaky, just didn't go right on any play. But ever since, they have been moving the ball extraordinarily, and now they have got this once again a ball game, and they're going to try and make this a 4-point game.
Fade into the end zone. Too tall that time from Mitchell. But let's take another look at that touchdown run from Marlon Brown. Carter, walk us through it.
And if you see Big 20 right there, you got to think he's getting the ball. And like I said earlier, just arm tackle after arm tackle. And that just doesn't work on a man like Marlon Brown who runs with a purpose. Man, if you're the Crusaders defense, you got to talk it over and say, hey, we need to use our shoulder pads here this next possession.
Well, the Titans answer the bell. Back to a 6-point contest. 6:30 to go in the first half. We'll take a break, bring you the other side when we return.
Since 1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit dickeys.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
Welcome back. Stephen Blackiston, Carter Randolph here for what has turned out to be a pretty good punch-for-punch football game in the CMFL late into the season.
Yeah, no doubt. I really didn't expect so much offense here early on. I kind of expected a slower type game and a hard-nosed running attack with big defenses, but we've kind of seen the exact opposite. A lot of deep throws, a lot of playmaking with the arm from both quarterbacks.
And just, going back a week ago, Wichita, the last team the Titans played, the Skyhawks held the Titans to 12 points. So all in all, Titans can come away at least today saying, hey, we improved our total upon from last week. They're fighting to stay in that conversation for that 2 seed as we get back underway. Ball's returnable. And let's have a little end-around trickeration return. West with the football, crosses his own 45 to midfield, and the Crusaders are going to have some good field position to start this next drive.
Charles West, always a man who can make a difference, and that time with a little trickery ends up getting the space he needs and gets his Crusader offense past the 50 in great field position exactly when they need it with just above 6 minutes to go here in the second.
Yeah, it's almost going to be, I think, a game of 1st to 35 at this rate as the offenses have both woken up in this football game. The quick 12-0 lead for Joplin has been responded to by the Midwest Titans, but nobody's been able to stop anybody either.
Wouldn't be the first time in this stadium. It takes me back to last year's Crusader Gator game. 35-34 goes down to the wire. A failed 2-point conversion ends up deciding that one. Was great all the way through, and I'm kind of getting that vibe here in this one.
Timeout taken by the Titans. That's their second of the half. Can't take them with you into the third quarter, so they'll use them here.
Not at all, and they're probably going to want to try and play a little quick here, see if they can maybe get it in another possession here before this second quarter ends. See if they can get it kind of a 2-for-1 like they do in the NBA.
Well, want to update you while we have this break. Falcons and Cyclones, that one's tied at 12 going into the final frame in the Gateway Conference. That could be quite the upset for the Missouri Cyclones if they can't hold on here.
Yeah, 2 great games here in the CMFL, and I knew this one was going to be good, but that one is a little bit of a surprise, but not
overly surprised. Yeah,
it's not at a crazy expense because both teams are hard-nosed and both have good coaches behind them, and they both know the game and love the game, no doubt.
And that was what I was going to say. When the Falcons came here, I really thought that, things go a different way in that third and fourth quarter of that game. I think the Falcons could have came out of here with that early season victory. I know for them, their season's kind of gotten off the rails since. They started out, I think, 0-3 or 0-2, and it's kind of hard to get back to playoff contention or by contention once you drop, those frames early on. But, yeah, it could be a big feather in the cap for the Falcons to blow the Gateway Conference wide open coming down the stretch.
Yeah, you beat a team like the Cyclones at their place. It's a good day. It's almost a good season every time.
Well, West going to get the handoff, trying to get to the edge. Flag going to come in late. Couple of flags come in as good gang tackling that time by the Titans. We'll see what the marker is.
Jamal Mitchell doing it on both sides of the ball. He was the one with first contact there on Charles West, star receiver, and looking like star DB here for the Titans. As that was a nice hit there from a guy who's supposed to be more of a pass coverage guy.
It looks like going to have a hold on the crew. Going to back them up into their own side of the field with 6 minutes to go.
But that tackle will not be in the stat book after the game.
It's an effort play.
It's a piece of laundry.
Can't take the effort away on that one, at least.
No doubt.
I want to pose this question to you, Carter. Just going back to that Falcons game, it feels like, and obviously this could be undone if the Crusaders go down and score here, but it feels like at times Joplin sort of switches off.
Yeah, I mean, you think they're always wanting to try, they're always wanting to score, but yeah, they just go into kind of these dull moments in the games for minutes on end or maybe a quarter which kind of ends up hurting them in the long run. But that pass might have just changed that whole ordeal because now it's going to be about 3rd and 5 here.
Yeah, big-time catch by Terrill Johnson as that one's lofted in there from Kendall Holmes. 2nd and medium.
And, yeah, with a couple key guys missing here like Braxton Reed and a couple of offensive guys not being able to make it, I mean, it is good. They knew it was going to be a tough game from the start, but I am impressed with Kendall Holmes and how he's kind of controlled and led this offense here in this first half.
Nearing 5 minutes to go in the half.
What I am most surprised of, though, Stephen, is how little we've seen of Elliot Hawkins. I mean, usually we see him 1st and 2nd down back. He's at least getting 1 touch.
Well, it's West again. That's going to be a yard short of the first down. But, yeah, to your point, it may be something there. You know, he is the bigger back. It is a little hotter. Maybe not as much tread on the tire in weather and conditions like that.
I didn't even think about that. I was thinking more along the line of maybe a game plan type deal. They see a little bit of a slowness, a sluggishness to this Titans defense and maybe try and want to take advantage of those outside edges.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that he's not ready to go. He is definitely standing on the sideline, helmet on, and ready to go when the coach calls his number.
Elliot Hawkins with pads on is one of the most intimidating human beings you can see. Let me tell you, Stephen. I mean, he just looks like a force. I don't care where you tackle him. It looks like it's going to hurt.
Holmes crossed the middle. That one falls harmlessly to the turf. Couple of Titans in coverage. I believe at least one of them was Will Thompson back there on the back end of that defense. Brings up a 4th and 1.
Yeah.
First 4th down of the game for the Crew.
Trying to catch the Titans off guard with that pass play because 3rd and 1, I was thinking, well, I guess Charles West is the new big boy in town. Just let him get that 1 or 2 yards. They took a chance, but you would like to think they can scavenge this 1 or 2 yards right here on this big 4th down.
Yeah, I imagine this is going to be a Kendall Holmes special,
Mm-hmm.
either by air or by ground. As Titans defense going to walk down a little bit. High snap. Holmes able to handle it. Indeed, it is just to Kendall Holmes himself, and he'll pick up the first down by 2 yards.
Offensive line got a huge push off right at the beginning of that play. Right as Holmes took off to the right, he had at least 4 to 5 yards of space. Was never a doubt he was getting that first down.
Well, and it's interesting, you know, I thought I heard it could have been, I assume it would be coming from the Titans sideline, quarterback draw, quarterback draw, quarterback draw. And if that's the case, I imagine you want to get a little bit more pressure at the line of scrimmage, but that time only 4 down linemen coming after the football.
And I think that has a lot to do with kind of the play calling from this Crusader coach because like we saw in 3rd and 1, they threw it 20 yards down the field. I mean, they're keeping this Titans defense on their toes and maybe having that defensive mind second-guessing himself a little bit. Because like you said, I would have brought the house right there.
Holmes, clean pocket, going to swing it out to West. He's got some green grass, hurdles a man, still going. Down to the Titan 10-yard line, and that one going to be on the highlight reel on next week's Semi-Pro Saturday.
Charles West having himself a day. I feel like he's made almost every play here for this Crusader team, him or Tajon Curry. But, man, yeah, I think that's got to be play of the game right there at least. Nice hurdle getting about 3-4 feet off the ground.
Just up and over. Not much you can do about it there if you're the Titans defender other than just try again next play.
I'm sure he's just happy he didn't get kicked in the face. Good old Antonio Brown special.
Well, 1st and 10 from the 12 looks like it's where they're going to mark West down. Lollipop snap to Holmes, able to sling it across the middle, picked off in a crowd. Titans have the football back. It's Armand King, the former Iowa Central College player. As out of nowhere, the Titans snatched this one and flipped the momentum again.
It seemed like Kendall Holmes was kind of trying to squeeze him in there this drive, and this time he got burned for it. His number 11 jumped right underneath that route and took it. What a drive killer. What a change in momentum here for the Titans.
It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Titans with another chance to tie or take the lead in this football game. We've said this a couple times about the Titans. They haven't been able to take advantage of said opportunity, but I got plenty of time, 2:38. Have to go, 85 yards?
Yeah, long way. You're wishing Sebastiano's back in there, but the way this Titan team's been rolling, I wouldn't be surprised if they drove this baby down into the red zone, made this the end of this first half a little interesting.
And crucially, if they were able to score, they get the ball to start the second half.
Very crucial. That would be huge. Especially give Sebastiano that time to recuperate, get his legs back underneath him. He comes back for the second half. That's big time.
Yeah, he hasn't left the sideline. He still is over there. Can see him in the orange socks. But this a big drive. The Titans need points, and they are at a premium. 1st and 10, cross the middle. That ball broken up. I think the ball got there first, and then the Crusaders defender in T.J. Austin reminded not to come across the middle late.
Yeah, what a hit from number 32. I mean, you just saw the receiver's feet go straight into the air, planted him on his back. I mean, that's got to be one of the hits of the game, if not the season, right there.
Yeah, that'll shake the fillings in your teeth a little bit.
No doubt. Every one of us has experienced that at least once. I mean, he put him right on his back. I'm surprised to see the receiver get up so quick.
Well, after the incompletion, 2nd and 10. For receivers, blitz comes, and a sack on the play as the Crusaders defense trying to bow up as the clock doesn't run. We'll see. Crusaders going to take a timeout out of it. So we'll take the timeout with them. Your score 20-14, but the Titans looking to take their first lead of the game with 2.5 minutes to go in the half.
Semi-Pro Saturday is brought to you in part by 950 Ways Graphics. Professional graphics for players, coaches, and teams. Trust the pros at 950 Ways Graphics and look them up on Facebook at 950 Ways Graphics.
Welcome back out of the timeout. Long 3rd down. Got to get out of the end zone. And that might be the smartest play of the game by D. Downton. Got it out of the end zone for an incomplete pass. It does stop the clock, but it's not a safety.
No, thank goodness number 31, the running back, was right there. I don't know if the quarterback knew, but he gets away with it. I thought for sure that was going to be intentional grounding. But gets away with it, and he lives to fight another day.
Well, this is the interesting thing. Neither team has punted in this football game so far, and I'm not saying that special teams are a priority in this level of play, but I definitely don't think you want to be punting from your own 11-yard line in this situation.
I didn't even know these teams had a punter, Steven.
I think some are finding out right now.
I think I've went 2 years and have yet to see a punt. So, as we're about to see one now, oh my goodness, there's a first time for everything, Steven.
Definitely the punter for the Titans, not built like one.
And I got a feeling he's got a boomer on him. I bet this one gets back to the 50, no doubt.
Well, that's where the Crusaders are set up for their return. West is set up to the near side. I believe the far side is Quinnell Johnson. Snapped, blocked, and out of the back of the end zone.
Going to be a touchback. Or safety, scratch that.
Yeah, 2 points go on the board for the Crew, so didn't come on the previous play, but did that time, as you could hear the block all the way up here in the press box.
Just slow snap, couldn't get it back there in time, took too long to develop. Ends up being 2 points for the Crusaders, going to make this an 8-point ball game.
I also like the nice bent leg from the punter that time. You can definitely tell that it's not a priority at this level. So 22-14 after the safety, and this is sort of the worst-case scenario for the Titans. The Joplin Crusaders get the ball back after this safety as well.
Yeah, and they're going to get it in real good field position, too, as the Titans should have to punt it away, so won't be able to get that distance really covered. We'll see how the Crusaders play it. if they try and run out the clock to give the Titans no chance at scoring, or if they try and just get it in the end zone as quick as possible.
Well, now with that 2 points, they are up by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, so you do have that cushion. But I think, honestly, if you're Sam Sturgis and the coaching staff for the Crusaders, other than that interception, the Crusaders' offense has been humming for the most part throughout the duration of this game. Yes, it's had its fits and starts that's allowed the Titans to get those 14 points on the board, but I think you have to roll the dice here and try and get 6 more before the break, especially with the Titans getting the ball to start the third quarter.
And I'm thinking the same thing, and honestly, would it be the worst thing if the Titans did get the ball back right now? Without Sebastiano, it seems like their offense is a little bit shaky, a little bit hesitant, so I think the Crusaders go all out here and just try and put some points on the board with whatever chance they get.
I'll wait to get everybody set up. As we hit 8 o'clock local time, skied into the air. Have a return. This is Johnson with the football. Going to cut it back. Couple of lead blockers. And the Crusaders will start with a short field with 2 minutes to go. Flag will come in. Could be an even shorter field if this is on the Titans.
And if we could replay that, there was a real low hit that hit Tajon Curry, and he's the one who's down right now. I mean, the defender came and just went straight for her leg. Oh, gosh, that looked like it hurt.
Also have 2 flags trailing the play. We got a little bit of a scrum forming, but no shoves.
I was surprised that didn't happen sooner because no defender should just – I mean, I get what he was trying to do, clear a path for his other defenders coming in behind to make the tackle. But, man, right before the half, I don't think you should be chopping at a leg like that. And you can tell some of the guys in black do not like how that went down.
I definitely agree with you there. As they try breaking it up, and you'll see coming in here, bottom of your screen, that player in black ahead of the ball carrier. You're about to get chopped down like a tree right there. As that's the injury to Mitchell, or no, excuse me, to Johnson for the Crusaders. As both sides seem to separate. Both teams are ready to get this thing to the halftime break. Certainly no. I think we are up here in the press box. It has been a hot day in Joplin.
No AC will do that to you, Steven. No AC will do that to you. But luckily
Makes
we
you
got
stronger.
some good quality. Yeah, for sure. At least we got some good quality entertainment here with the Crusaders Titans battling this one out.
Yeah, we're going to need to see. Looks like Joplin's lining up like we're going to kick again. So just going to have a re-kick.
Wow, and after such a good return, ends up coming all the way back. That's brutal.
I get the feeling that could potentially happen again for the Crusaders, just the way that play developed the last time. We'll need to see. Again, 2 minutes left in the half. Your score, 22-14, as it was all Joplin early. They were up 12-0. But both teams have really traded scores since.
The punter, he got some good air underneath that last one. See if he can replicate it again. This one a little bit more distance covered.
It's going to bounce into the hands this time for the Crusaders again. Across midfield. West has another bit of an alley, and he'll be brought down at the Titans' 40. So not quite as good field position as the last one, but still starting in plus territory for Kendall Holmes and company.
Yeah, Charles West has been a man on a mission here in this first half. He has been doing anything and everything he can to help his team. And I think that puts him over 150 all-purpose yards here. I mean, he has had some big, big plays, and it seems like he touches it at least 5 to 7 times a possession.
Yeah, the offense on the ground has definitely gone through West. Even in the air a couple of times, there's a couple of receptions. I know, notably the Stark this game got a couple of quick targets. But both teams going to talk it over. Minute 55 left to go in the half. Again, Titans will start the third quarter with the football, so it's imperative for them, if they want to maintain touching distance to Joplin in this game, have to find a way to limit this drive to at least 3 points.
And good news for the Crusaders offense. Tajon Curry is back out there in the offensive huddle. So I don't know if he's going out in the field this first play, but he is in there listening, seeing how they're looking to put some points on the board here for this last drive.
Well, the crew going to break the huddle. For what should likely be their last possession of the half. As the Shadows pretty much have all engulfed the football stadium here in Joplin, other than maybe the red zone for the Crusaders going in. Empty set, 5 in the formation. Kendall Holmes, chance to show off his arm. Lofts it out there. We'll need to see if he got his hands underneath it. It's picked off. Still going. Kendall Holmes going to make the tackle to knock down Armand King. That's King's second interception of the day as he scoops underneath it. And I don't know what form of reality we're in, Carter, but the Titans have another plus field opportunity to tie this game.
3 big. Just a big mistake from Kendall Holmes. With the time ticking away here in the first half, you cannot give the Titans another chance to breathe here. And I think he was trying to throw it away, Steven, but just with the 2 big bodies in front of him fading away, just couldn't get the strength behind it. And number 11 again finds a way to get the ball in his hands and gets his team another chance to put points on the board. Got to give it to number 11, Armand King.
Well, and I was going to say, that's the other thing as well is, in high school or college, that's where that ball's dead. That's where the Titans would start over. But that's kind of the beauty of semi-pro at this level is they have that down-by-contact rule. So King runs it back into Crusaders territory and sets up this awesome field position again for the Titans.
Marlon Brown looking at that kind of rover spot, tight end spot. See motions across.
Low snap and immediate pressure, but Titans able to break out of it. Near the sticks, Jeremy Brown able to slip slide his way through. We'll see if they give him the first down or not. Nope, looks like he stepped out of bounds a couple yards short.
Brown went from 0 to 100 real quick. I mean, looked dead to rights right as he touched the ball and then breaks the tackle and just sprints for an easy 6 to 7 yards.
Got out of bounds, so minute 34 is where the clock will stop. As the Titans will huddle. Titans back in the pistol. Looks like a blitz could be on from the Crusaders. Indeed it is, and that time not going to slip away. Is planted in the backfield as big 69 Eric Thornburg shooting the gap.
Yeah, I mean, untouched right as that ball was hiked and just blew that play up right off the get-go. And now it was 2nd and 4, going to be 3rd and about 8 or 9 here. And without Sebastiano, we'll see what kind of play the Titans offense comes up with here.
The clock will roll, a minute 20 approaching. I'll probably snap this, but about 10 to go in the half. The crucial thing is here, I would almost say that you want to have this pass completed if you're the Titans, or run it just to keep the clock moving. Don't want to give the Crusaders another opportunity. Jailhouse blitz again. Titans able to avoid the pressure the first time. That ball incomplete, and that's what I was talking about. That ball incomplete, and the clock still running. They finally stop it with 56 seconds as they ran about another 4 off after the initial incompletion.
Just under a minute, and just want to say that the QB number 2 here for the Titans, he got up a little slow, a little shaky. So maybe something to monitor there at the start of that second half. But he is walking off on his own power, which is always a good sign.
Yeah, the Titans certainly thin at that position already.
Mm-hmm.
As 4th and 9, 56 seconds.
And the way the Crusaders have been bringing the pressure, I think if you're the Titans offensive guy, you've got to have a second play as like a backup, because, I mean, they are just bringing the heat. You can't just run the ball when you know 8 guys are coming in. I mean, you've got to have kind of a audible play, I guess, even though I don't think any of these teams really audible too often.
That's kind of what it is what it's going to be when you break the huddle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing you could even do in this situation, just move the pocket. Give your quarterback a chance with this pressure coming right down the pike. They do just that. Titans down the field, tipped up, intercepted. Easier said than done that time. That is Johnson again.
Quinnell Johnson with number 2 on the day, able to make his presence felt once again as he stops the Titans in their tracks. 47 seconds left here in the second.
And, you almost could see that one coming from Doughton's pass. Once it gets tipped, there's enough hands in that area that it's going to be an interception. Did have an open receiver at the goal line, looking back at that replay, but clearly Doughton didn't see his man in the end zone.
It is hard to look downfield when you're running for your life, Stephen. I mean, had to get out of there. Tried to float one up, but just floated it a little too low, tipped up. And then there's number 2 for Quinnell Johnson. And we all know he's a big-time defensive playmaker, but tonight he's really making himself known.
Yeah, we've had more interceptions than touchdowns so far in this game.
Is Charles West going to come off, take off this into this second half or into this first half?
Well, I thought the last possession was going to be the last possession of the half for the Crusaders, so who knows at this point. Holmes, quick out, and across the 30 for a first down. Is recipient that time, Daquan Johnson, going to have a little bit of a scuffle away from the play from a couple of linemen that were engaged, but no harm, no foul, no flag thrown that time.
A lot of competitiveness here in Joplin, Missouri today. Love to see it. This is why we love coming to watch CMFL football, folks.
40 seconds or so left in the half. About 70 yards between the Crusaders and another touchdown. Fresh set of downs. High snap. Holmes has time, just lofts it. That one intended for Johnson, and it falls harmlessly to the turf as the Titans are just dropping 7 in coverage at this point. They understand the assignment, keep everything in front of you and out of the end zone.
Exactly, and that's honestly one of the best options you can have as a defense going up against Kendall Holmes in this Crusader offense. Because as long as you know where Kendall Holmes is at all times and a couple of those playmakers like West and Curry, you should be fine. Because it doesn't seem like the Crusaders are really run heavy here today. So, I mean, they're looking to air that ball out and try and make some plays happen with your receivers and quarterback mix.
2nd and 10. Holmes with Hawkins in the backfield. Holmes shows off that elusiveness. Going to run for the first time tonight. Just breaks a couple of ankles. Why not?
Ooh,
still on his feet. Still going. Still fighting. I think the ball popped out at some point, but went into another hand of a Crusader. So across midfield, and a timeout, I believe, taken by Joplin with 16 seconds to go. Kendall Holmes showing off the legs. I'm almost on cue from you.
There was so much going on, I didn't know when to step in, but Kendall Holmes was running with like he just stole it. I mean, that thing was out here. He had no control over that ball. I can't believe he didn't lose it sooner. But able to luckily fall into the hands of one of his teammates, and he's able to not get his 4th turnover of the day.
Yeah, that would be a killer of a turnover there. You still have an opportunity with 16 seconds. You're now into Titans territory. You got 48 yards between you and the end zone, so can make something happen. They have one timeout, I believe, remaining. Both teams do for the half, so you get something quick, get out of bounds, or if you can't, you at least have that timeout in the back pocket.
Yeah, and talking about Kendall Holmes' control with that ball, I mean, he is such a good playmaker that you honestly don't really care that he carries it out like that. But, man, when you get into the middle of the field like he was with nothing but white jerseys around you, you have got to make sure that ball is protected. And I'm sure the coaches told him just that right there. With 16 seconds to go, the last thing they want is to give this Titans team one more chance.
Yeah, it looked like feeding time at SeaWorld there for a second for Kendall Holmes, but able to fall on it. One of his teammates, that is, and will live to play on.
Here's the man, the myth, the legend, Elliot Hawkins, going to be behind the QB.
Yeah, I think he's come into this game maybe as that blocking back just to help as basically an extra lineman. Holmes not able to break the pressure that time. We'll have a flag on the play. Need to see what it is. It's thrown in the middle of the field by the line of scrimmage, so you might think an offensive hold.
Yeah, just from where the location of the flag was, I'm thinking the same thing, Steven.
11 seconds. Oh, a face mask going to be on the Titans, so we'll walk off a few yards.
Give the Crusaders a little bit of a better shot here with 11 seconds to go.
Yeah, I know that Sebastiano can throw it 45 yards in the air. We'll see what Kendall Holmes' arm looks like. And that's a big penalty. Moves it within the 35. So probably have time for two quick plays.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, we've already seen one 70-yard touchdown pass today. Wouldn't be surprised to see Kendall Holmes try and air this one out too.
Well, Holmes going to survey. 8 seconds. Heaves it. End zone. Has a man caught for the touchdown, Crusaders.
What a great job by that O-line for the Crusaders. Kendall Holmes had all day to get rid of that one. And then, of course, Tajon Curry sees his quarterback's in trouble, just breaks across the field, gets open, finds the space, and that's 6 for the Crusaders once again.
Yeah, Curry just runs to the open space in the back of the end zone on top of the U and MSSU and brings it in. With 2 seconds left to go in the half, the Crusaders extending their lead. A 2-point conversion for making this game really interesting. A little trickeration.
Finds Curry once again.
As that was Daquan Johnson on the throw. Number 7 in your program. Makes it a 30-14 game. We'll see. I guess they ran those 2 seconds off, and they're going to call that halftime as we'll take another look at the 2-point conversion play. Yeah, not your normal Kendall Holmes quarterback play. That is number 7, Daquan Johnson, stepping in to put the 2 on the board. But we've reached halftime, 30-14. The Crusaders there for a minute, only up a score, have extended it somehow, some way by making it a 16-point game. We'll take a break, bring you quarter number 3 when we return.
Since 1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit Dickeys.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
We are a community of athletes that celebrate success.
Oh, welcome back. We're actually not at halftime. As it turns out, we have 2 seconds left on the clock, so a pretty pointless play, I would imagine, as the Crusaders are going to kick off to the Titans for 2 seconds of action. You might have thought that they would have run that off. Let's just go into the halftime locker room, but no. Every second is precious. Oh, all the leg in the world in that kick, and we got 1 second left. Nope, they ran it off. The clock operator is doing us all a favor in the press box. So, now, officially at the half, your score, Joplin 30, the Midwest Titans 14. We will take the halftime break. We will see you here in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Exciting Week 7 action wraps up after these messages.
Since 1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit Dickeys.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
We are a community of athletes that celebrate success and development while having fun and being safe.
We do a pretty rigorous testing to all of our athletes to track progress as we go.
Our athletes are 10% faster, 179% stronger. They jump 4 inches higher on average. They're 8% more agile and 9% quicker.
You can come in, get extremely high quality training, accelerate your athletic abilities.
Head on over to prodaysports.com.
Come try, see if you enjoy it. For $1, it's worth it.
A tradition of educational excellence, more than a century in the making, continues in Broken Arrow. Here, supportive faculty, in-demand undergraduate and graduate degrees, and affordable tuition make Northeastern State University your transfer destination. Finish what you started.
Located in downtown Prairie Grove, Prairie Grove Auto and Farm Supply has been serving the community since 1983. They carry a large selection of inventory to keep your automobiles and farm equipment running smoothly year after year. As a local, family-owned auto parts store, they are thankful to this community for 40 great years and look forward to serving you for 40 more. Go Tigers!
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today, and I'm just getting started. When you have the support of a community, anything is possible. First Community Bank, where community comes first.
There's no place like home. Whether you live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, or Missouri, Realty Mart USA is your go-to real estate company for residential, commercial, agricultural, or land. We believe in strong connected communities and sponsor local events. Realty Mart USA, supporting our communities, supporting our future.
I can feel the warmth deep down in my bones. I know that I am home. I miss him too. Love brings us here. Together's where we all belong. You're my home. My home.
The roof is the home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
In 1851, the Cherokee ignited the lamp of learning in the wilderness. For more than a century, this has been a gathering place where minds are developed and lifelong relationships are made, where dreams find direction. The lamp burns brightly still at Northeastern State University.
With the taste of friends, family, and backyard barbecues, Bentonville Brewing Company. Family owned, family operated, family friendly. Pick up a 6-pack of your favorite IPA, porter, sours, or any one of the delicious flavors Bentonville Brewing has to offer. Or enjoy a cold one on tap at your favorite restaurant. Bentonville Brewing Company. Quality, consistency, assume your natural state. Bentonville Brewing Company, Bentonville, Arkansas.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, ripping out pages. I'm going through changes now.
Some might say I'm an ideas guy. I'd like to think of myself more as a doer. I like to make things happen, both for myself and for the people my businesses serve. Signature Bank has been crucial in that for me, from starting my moving businesses to expanding into mobile minis, all the way to our current office and warehouse space. Signature has advised and supported me every step of the way.
I can feel the warmth deep down in my bones. I know that I am home. I miss him too. Love brings us here. Together's where we all belong. You're my home. My home.
The College of Education at Northeastern State University prepares educators, mental health providers, and fitness or health professionals with undergraduate and graduate programs. Choose from degrees in elementary, secondary education, special education, health and human performance, psychology, and more. Be ready from day one at Northeastern State University.
Hi, my name is Michaela.
We are computer science pros, chemists and lab technicians, health professionals, mathematicians, and science educators. We are the Greg Wadley College of Science and Health Professions at Northeastern State University. Choose from degrees in natural sciences, health and pre-health professions, mathematics and computer science, and more. Discover the possibilities at Northeastern State University.
Mowing your yard just got easier. TNG Power Equipment has the best Ferris mowers to get the job done, including the all-new 60-inch redesigned deck that mows up to 11 miles per hour in tall or wet conditions. And for smaller lawns, our Ferris 300S starts at just $39.99. And right now, save up to $1,000 on select Ferris models. Commercial grade to last a lifetime. TNG Power Equipment has Ferris mowers to tackle your projects.
1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit Dickeys.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
We are a community of athletes that celebrate success and development while having fun and being safe.
We do a pretty rigorous testing to all of our athletes to track progress as we go.
Our athletes are 10% faster, 179% stronger. They jump 4 inches higher on average. They're 8% more agile and 9% quicker.
You can come in, get extremely high quality training, accelerate your athletic abilities.
Head on over to prodaysports.com.
Come try, see if you enjoy it. For $1, it's worth it.
A tradition of educational excellence, more than a century in the making, continues in Broken Arrow. Here, supportive faculty, in-demand undergraduate and graduate degrees, and affordable tuition make Northeastern State University your transfer destination. Finish what you started.
Located in downtown Prairie Grove, Prairie Grove Auto and Farm Supply has been serving the community since 1983. They carry a large selection of inventory to keep your automobiles and farm equipment running smoothly year after year. As a local, family-owned auto parts store, they are thankful to this community for 40 great years and look forward to serving you for 40 more. Go Tigers!
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today. And I'm just getting started. When you have the support of a community, anything is possible. First Community Bank, where community comes first.
There's no place like home. Whether you live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, or Missouri, Realty Mart USA is your go-to real estate company for residential, commercial, agricultural, or land. We believe in strong connected communities and sponsor local events. Realty Mart USA, supporting our communities, supporting our future.
I can feel the war deep down in my bones. I know that I am home. I miss him too. Love brings us here. Together's where we all belong. You're my home. My home.
The roof is the home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
In 1851, the Cherokee ignited the lamp of learning in the wilderness. For more than a century, this has been a gathering place where minds are developed and lifelong relationships are made, where dreams find direction. The lamp burns brightly still at Northeastern State University.
With a taste of friends, family, and backyard barbecues, Bentonville Brewing Company. Family owned, family operated, family friendly. Pick up a 6-pack of your favorite IPA, porter, sours, or any one of the delicious flavors Bentonville Brewing has to offer. Or enjoy a cold one on tap at your favorite restaurant. Bentonville Brewing Company. Quality, consistency, assume your natural state. Bentonville Brewing Company.
Well, welcome back as we get set for the start of the second half. your score here in Joplin. 30-14, the Crusaders lead after a topsy-turvy into that first half. Stephen Blackiston, Carter Randolph with you, as the Titans will be getting us underway once this ball is in the air. And a little onside. Titans able to fall on it, though. No surprise there, as the Titans will, again, have great starting field position in this ballgame.
Yeah, Titans able to come out with a strong start once again. Able to come out and put a stamp on this second half. See if they can keep it up and keep that momentum going.
Yeah, should be interesting to see what adjustments both teams have made to start this second half, as the sun is starting to set here in Joplin. And so with that setting sun, the temperatures will fall as well, as we are pretty much all underneath the artificial lights here in Southwest Missouri. 85, feels like 88 at the moment.
Still no Sebastiano.
Yeah, I think it might be a situation, as he's got, I believe, a towel on his head over there on the sideline. Looks like that, is the universal symbol for done for the day, which is a really tough loss, because he was a great player to watch in that first half until he went down with the injury, and I think really that Titans offense has not looked the same since. But on first down to start our second half, a 5-yard pickup to get the festivities underway. That's going to be Jay Robinson, the running back that time.
Big Jay Robinson. They kind of got a double-headed dragon back there in the backfield with Marlon Brown and Jay Robinson. A little bit of speed, a little bit of power, best of both worlds. Titans really weren't able to get that going in the first half, but I expect them to kind of try and ride that train, for lack of a letter term, here in the second half.
And if you're not paying attention at home, yes, he did just try and shoehorn a Hannah Montana reference in there with best of both worlds.
She might be a little crazy now, but she is always going to be a legend to me, Stephen. Don't you forget it.
Fair enough. 2nd and 5, back to the ground, and this play will be brought down in the backfield as we hit the 14-minute mark of the third. Again, this has been a long game. Second half starting 2 hours plus after the initial kickoff, so definitely has moved at a snail's pace.
Yep, taking their time here in this one, but that score does not do this game justice. The first half was closer than that score might lead you to believe, but I still believe that the Titans still have a fighting shot in this game with or without Sebastiano, so we will see if they can make that come to fruition and make this a battle here at the end.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how this game would look if Sebastiano was still in it. Pitch play to the outside, not enough for a first down, but will be close to a manageable 4th down play. But, of course, we have a flag on the play.
Get things going well, and then that laundry pops up, ruins everything. We'll see who's going to be in trouble this time.
The officials talking it over. Long conversation. I think we have some fouls maybe on the Titans, as the Titans are already walking off the other way. Yep. And there's the call, a hold on the Midwest Titans. Going to back it up and make it a real long 2nd down.
And after such nice running from Jay Robinson, I mean, two great back-to-back run plays for him, 5+ yards on both carries, just to be brought back to make it 3rd and really long, about 3rd and 17 here to try and convert this first down. So we'll see if the Titans can come up with anything crazy or maybe a little bit tricky to try and get those 17 yards back.
Yeah, haven't seen any trickeration out of the Titans today. Might be a time to flip to the back of the playbook and just try something.
See if they can kind of kick-start this engine here.
Another blitz comes. We'll move the pocket.
Nice block from Marlon Brown.
Thrown downfield, intercepted that's been the moral of the story since Sebastiano's gone down, and the Crusaders will take over on their side of the football field for their first possession of the second half after the turnover.
Yeah, tough throw for any quarterback to make. I mean, he's rolling out left, right-handed guy, has to turn his whole body to try and square those shoulders to make the throw, and just can't get him squared enough as that ball kind of floats out away from his receiver and falls right into that black jersey to give this Crusaders offense another chance to put points up on the board.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We've talked about it with Downton coming into the game to spell the injured Sebastiano. Will the Crusaders now be able to really just put the nails into the coffin in this third and fourth quarter?
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of run here, trying to kill that clock, not give the offense for the Titans enough time to even come back into this game. But I have been a little surprised with the play calling here for the Crusaders. Not that it's been bad by any means. I mean, they got 30 points on the board in the first half. Can't complain about that at all. But I do expect the passing to die down a little bit here in the second half for sure.
And as if on cue, it's your boy Carter Hawkins stumbling, rumbling, bumbling for 8 or so yards on 1st and 10.
The man, the myth, the legend. Didn't see him as much in the first half, but, man, it's always fun watching the big boy run.
You know, thinking about it, maybe that is by design. The second half, everybody's worn down. You have a fresh Hawkins. It's like a wrecking ball on an abandoned building at that point.
Yeah, and also, like you said earlier, keeping his legs fresh. I mean, a big boy running in this heat, that'll tire you out, so maybe just making sure he's always ready to go.
Oh, broken play, I think, that time.
Yeah, I think so, too.
As broken play turns into an incomplete. As, oh, my gosh, he was calling for it as well. Charles West there, left alone on the broken play, was wide open, called for it. And just a little street football there could not come to fruition.
Not a white jersey within 10 yards of Charles West right there. And a tough throw for Kendall Holmes to make, but one he definitely should make. I mean, it is across the field, but, man, no one around him, just float it to the man. You know Charles West is going to make a move right off the bat anyway.
Yeah, you know, the rule of thumb is if it hits you in the hand as a receiver, you got to catch the football. So after the incompletion, 3rd and short. This time back to the ground for Hawkins. Oh, a nice cut in the hole. Gets it across midfield and into Titans territory for the first time in the second half.
And that is something that always seems to surprise that defense that first time they see it. That little side shuffle from the big boy, number 29. You don't expect it. You expect him to just lower that shoulder and try and push his way for yards. But, man, he's got a little bit of the shifty feet, a little bit of the ballet in him, if you know what I mean. A little bit of a shift to the right, shift to the left type deal.
He's certainly nimble as he hits the hole. Oh, fresh set of downs. As the Crusaders just kind of slowing the pace of this football game down. Swung out, complete. West making a few tackles miss. Into the second level, and he will go in for the score. Checking behind the play, no penalty markers, put 6 on the board for the Joplin Crusaders.
It's just that breakaway speed from Charles West. Once he sees that Red Sea split, he takes full advantage, and it's off to the races.
Yeah, a couple of arm tackles. He gets through there. Just a little bit of speed. Closes through a hole that is not really there, and he is high-stepping to the finish.
Titans wish they could have that one back. Had plenty of opportunities to make a tackle, but just couldn't bring down the speedster Charles West. And that pushes this lead to over 20 points. It's 36-14 here in Joplin.
I think the wind is starting to come out of the sails of the Midwest Titans.
Yeah, that one stung a little bit more than the others, Steven. No doubt going to make it. That made it real hard for a comeback to even be possible here.
And Hankins gets the handoff and put 2 more on the board for the Crew. Your score, first score of the half, 38-14. The reigning defending champions starting to look like it here in Joplin.
For With a taste of friends, family, and backyard barbecues. Bentonville Brewing Company. Family owned, family operated, family friendly. Pick up a 6-pack of your favorite IPA, porter, sours, or any one of the delicious flavors Bentonville Brewing has to offer. Or enjoy a cold one on tap at your favorite restaurant. Bentonville Brewing Company. Quality, consistency, assume your natural state. Bentonville Brewing Company, Bentonville, Arkansas.
Welcome back as we get set for kickoff for the Crusaders after that impressive march down the field. Took no time at all. We'll see if the Titans really have an answer, Carter. Since Sebastiano's gone down, they've had a couple of plays, a couple of drives that had some promise, and then they fall apart.
Yeah, if they were a pirate group, I mean, the boat is taking in water right now, and they need to start plugging holes. And what I mean is they need to put some points on the board as they get a great kickoff return yet again. I mean, not as good as they have, but down to the 40. Nothing bad about that field starting position. So we'll see if they can take advantage here and maybe give just Marlon Brown and Jay Robinson the wheels or the reins and just let them take over here.
Yeah, see if the Titans commit to pounding it like the Crew did on the last drive. Again, without having Julius Sebastiano in the game, that has been the killer for the Titans. They scored 14 early in the first half, but that has been all for the visitors this evening. And last week they were defeated 28-12 in Wichita against the Skyhawks. So the Skyhawks, the way things are going, they are on a great trajectory to maybe sneak into that 2 seed in the Great Plains Conference.
Definitely anybody's ball game right now. I mean, anything could happen. Still a couple of weeks left to go here. This game definitely matters. The Skyhawks game matters this week. But we'll see in the coming weeks who has the most drive and who has the most heart to finish this season out on a strong note.
Well, flag comes in almost immediately. Nothing on that play. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage for the Titans. But, yeah, to that point, the Bears have run off and done what they have needed to do in this new season, but still a lot to be settled the rest of the way down the order in this side of the conference.
No doubt, and a lot of good football teams in the CMFL, but I think we can all agree the Great Plains Conference is just stacked from top to bottom, so whoever can end up making it out of that group, I mean, has basically survived a free-for-all in there. I mean, anyone could have came out on top of that thing, so for the Bears to be undefeated like they are right now, it is very impressive. And
especially
those teams below them are just as impressive almost.
Yeah, I was going to say, make the point that, even because the Bears took a year off last year as well.
Took a year off and came back better.
I think that's just the Kevin Cox effect.
It might be. It might be.
Well, first and a mile for the Titans. Low snap, gets by the quarterback. And that football loose, finally corralled by Downton. Nearly another 6 points for the Crusaders if they were able to swat that ball out of there.
I'm surprised he was able to come down on that. Didn't look like he was really committed to getting that fumble back, but able to fall on it anyway. Going to be second and about 30 here, I think. I mean, second and real long.
Yeah, I think they're snapping this one from Webb City at this point.
Yeah, no doubt.
As you see there, just kind of a weird situation. The Titans have already given up one safety tonight. They don't want to make it 2, as they have to get to midfield to get a first down. Just to put that in perspective for everybody at home, you can't see the other end of it. But it'll be second down and a lot.
Let's just say it's 4-down territory here, folks.
Quick pitch out to the far side. Will be a positive play this time for the Titans. And he will go all the way.
Just a simple pitch play to Jay Robinson. But like we've seen here all day, he is quick as lightning. And once he sees that daylight in front of him, it is off to the races, and he takes full advantage for about a 90-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, we'll take another look at it. Just when they're putting the dirt on the Titans here in the press box. They say, hey, not quite enough. We ain't dead yet.
Mm-hmm. Jay Robinson says, hold on just a second. I didn't drive all this way down here for nothing here.
He certainly did it. He, I think now is, I would say, the reigning play of the game getter after taking that one to the crib. He might need to go on the sideline, take a blow of oxygen for a second.
No doubt, 90 yards. What a run. And also, I mean, he broke about 3 tackles just to get there. So, I mean, what a run by number 31, Jay Robinson. Props to you, sir.
Well, waiting the 2-point conversion. Would make this a 2-score game again. And hogtied in the backfield that time, breaking in, Theriel Johnson puts that one to rest. So it's an 18-point game. We'll take a break here on the Southern Sports Network. You're watching Semi-Pro Saturday. Joplin still in the lead.
Since 1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit Dickeys.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
Well, welcome back to Fred G. Hughes Stadium. Normal Service is hosting your Missouri Southern State University Lions in the MIAA. But in the spring and summertime, it has been the host of the Joplin Crusaders for about as many years as I can count, Carter. And, you know, we have a decent game brewing here. Just kind of depends on if the Titans can get some stops or not. But Joplin, I think at times in the second half, just so far, we've sort of seen like a little bit of a spark to see, oh, these are the defending champions in this league.
Mm-hmm. Like we talked about earlier as well, we see the moments when the Crusaders really shine, but we also see the moments where they just kind of fall asleep and become a little lackadaisical. It was second down and about 50 yards to get a first down, and what happens? Jay Robinson runs it for a 90-yard touchdown. I mean, you just cannot let that happen, and I'm sure the coaches are letting them know, but I mean, you give the Titans another chance to fight in this one, and I mean, that's the last thing you want with still plenty of time left in this ballgame.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a bad job of closing the door on the Titans. Can definitely say that, and you can't do that against other or better opposition like a Oklahoma City Bears or Oklahoma Bears, excuse me, or a Wichita Skyhawks, who they have got to play as well, all vying in this conference. And, you know, if you want to make it any farther, the Cyclones as well, probably coming out of the Gateway side of this league. Those are opponents you can't just switch off against. They will be the ones that make you pay.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, when you get to that level of play, like when they do get to the playoffs, I mean, of course, every team is going to be good. And, of course, you're going to give up some big plays, but it's just the plays that you really should, like that second and fourth. Second, that's a play that should never happen in a million years. I don't care what the scenario is, what's happening. A defense at a level that the Joplin Crusaders defense is should not be giving up plays like that, and hopefully they can get those kind of things fixed here before the playoffs start.
Well, West going to take it up the middle. Had the touchdown the last time, and he was a shoestring tackle away from taking it to the house again.
Like you said, shoestring. I mean, if he doesn't grab his ankle right there, I mean, he's off to the races once again. But once again, a nice play from Charles West. Got to think he's over 200 all-purpose yards here in this one. I mean, boy has done it on special teams, offensively. I mean, I think the only thing we're missing is defense.
Yeah. Get him out there on a couple of defensive snaps, see if he can get a pick or something.
I wouldn't mind him at safety, that's for sure.
Yeah, he would definitely be a tough defender as he's out in the formation as a receiver this time. Hawkins in the backfield. Holmes going to look to throw across the pattern to the far side, complete. into Titans territory inside their 30.
Tyrone Johnson with the catch. I believe that's his second of the day.
Yeah, they just keep on rolling this Crusaders offense. Fresh set of downs. Holmes going to keep it himself, flips it out. Dangerous flip, makes it work. And somebody goes head over heels. I believe that's West, as be a pickup about 6.
Crusaders are blessed to even pick up positive yardage on that, and I'm sure Hawkins was just furious at not getting the ball right there because he was untouched for the first 6 yards.
Yeah, I think Hawkins, he just wanted to hit somebody.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. That's every play.
Yeah, we take another look at it here. A little read option. Then a quick flip out there. Near disaster. To have a penalty, actually, on the play. Missed that flag. It's going to back the Crew up. But I'd say, Carter, we've seen that the down and distance doesn't necessarily matter to Joplin in this second half.
Not at all. Too many playmakers on both sides of the ball. Anything can happen at any given moment, Steven. And I think we're all thinking the same thing. Where's Charles West at, and what's he going to do on this play?
Yeah, where is the magician? Well, Hawkins will be in the backfield. Crew going to send a man in motion. Quick hitter out to the outside, a little tunnel screen trying to get set up. Fighting, not much there. A lateral to West. We talked about the Mr. Houdini act, but no, they blow the play dead. West, I think, would argue that the thing was still in motion as the recipient was Tejon Curry on the reception.
One of the other big playmakers here for this Crusader offense. You got Charles West, and then you got Tejon Curry. And Curry with the huge football IQ play. But
I mean, he was going backwards in the replay, as you see there. I mean, he was still kind of moving, but I guess they just say he's in the grass. And
I think they blow that whistle right there about 9 times out of 10. 3 white jerseys around the guy. I mean, he's not going anywhere more than likely. But it just so happens that he saw a pitch opportunity, took it just a millisecond too late.
And I think that's the freeness we're seeing out of Joplin in the second half. They're playing a little bit more loose, hummed across the middle, complete. And a little bit after the catch goes Tyrell Johnson. He's had his name called a lot tonight, but it's been quiet.
The unsung hero, I'd say, because I've heard his name, seen him make a couple big plays on third down, a couple big plays to start off a drive. But when you got Charles West and Tejon Curry, you might get overlooked from time to time.
He's definitely the third of the 3 Musketeers in that situation. High snap. Holmes pulls it out of Hawkins' gut again. A little RPO action. Looking for the end zone that time, just a little short inside the Titans' 4.
Tejon Curry, another catch, and he doesn't look big out there, but let me tell you, folks, he is a strong man. I mean, he is a guy who lives in the weight room. So, I mean, it does take 2 guys to bring him down more times than not, as we see a couple of the guys who did bring him down on the ground right now, a little shaken up.
Yeah, a little worse for wear in that situation, and that's the risk you pay when you go after a big back or a big receiver like that. Again, 5 minutes ago in this quarter, the Crusaders are looking again to punch it in, Carter.
And I got to believe that they're going to do it again because this Titan defense, who have put up a great fight and have clawed their way the whole game, just can't seem to keep them out. It doesn't matter if it's a throw or run. I think the Crusaders just have their number tonight.
Yeah, I think the offense for the Crew is just that hair more apt to getting after the defense. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the CMFL on the Southern Sports Network.
Since 1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit Dickeys.com. Legit, Texas barbecue.
Welcome back. As they tend to a couple of injured Titans. Imagine, maybe some of this is heat related, as it has been a scorcher of a day. Definitely you can say, Carter, that the summer is here and is here with authority.
Yeah, my head is a mop right now, just straight sweat and bullets here. And, after 3 hard-nosed quarters of football, you got to think it was going to take its toll eventually. And Tajon Curry, he was running hard right there. He tried to split the defenders, took them both head on, and, man, laid a good hit. And you would think the offensive guy would be a little more hurt, but sometimes it does end up on the defensive man.
Yeah, we can take another look at it here as we wait to return to action. You see there the swing out, and then there's 3 Titans there, and kind of like bowling ball pins, they all get knocked down by Curry. Give him the 7-10 split for the strike, or spare.
Good to see Curry back out there, too, because we saw him earlier go down on that kickoff. We're a little worried, but it seems he has not missed a beat here in this second half, still running at full pace.
Before we get back underway, this is something you don't have to give me the answer now. You can think on it. We can talk about it in the fourth quarter. But we mentioned this at the beginning of the broadcast. Jacob Park was brought in this year to be the starting quarterback, Iowa State QB, to get over on top of Kendall Holmes, as Holmes tries for the end zone that time, incomplete. But Kendall, I think tonight has shown, there's a reason he's the reigning MVP, a champion. But I'd like to get your thoughts going into the fourth quarter here later. Just go ahead and think on, this Park-Holmes conundrum that the Crusaders might have on their hands towards the playoffs.
I think you used the perfect word for that one, conundrum, because there's about any way this thing could go any which way. You got 2 great guys, but I'll think on that one, and we'll come back to it in the fourth, and I'll give you a more definitive answer, see at least my opinion on the whole process of how I think it'll play out.
Well, 2nd and goal after the incompletion. Got Hawkins in at the Wildcat, snapped over his head. Hawkins able to get back to it. You might just throw it out of bounds if you're Hawkins, but he's going to fight everybody on the Titans defense. And, well, that is a net loss of, I believe, about 20 yards, some quick math.
Like I've been saying all broadcasts, we all love us some Elliott Hawkins, number 29. He loses 20 yards, and not his fault, but loses 20 yards. First guy that comes and tries to tackle him, just get off me, son. Bounces him right off. Huge loss for the Crusaders. Kind of makes this game a little bit more interesting because we thought that was surefire points right there, but that makes it a little different.
Yeah, you see Hawkins like, all right, get off me. Okay, you guys coming on too? All right, you gotta at least bring 2 of you if you're going to take me down.
Literally. 2 or 3 or 4 is, that's what it'll take.
Well, this opens up the playbook a little bit more for the Crusaders, I suppose, if anything. 3rd and goal from their own 25. And going back farther on the sack, down goes Kendall Holmes. And this is one of those moments we talked about. The Crusaders just kind of switch off sometimes. They play great maybe for 90, 85% of the game, but that's that other 10, 15%. You just kind of scratch your head.
Literally, that's all you can do is scratch your head because it was going so well for him. And then all of a sudden, just a terrible snap just completely turns this game back on its head. And now the Titans, once again, have gotten life breathed into them. I got to say, I wish if we could go look back at that sack, I want to watch that groovy moves from number 93, Ken Davis. He was getting after it after that sack.
Yeah, if we have that replay, we'll get to that. I think we have a timeout on the field. Crusaders score to update you on the not the Washington Generals. That's they would never win in this situation. So I'll rephrase. But the Northwest Arkansas Generals up 18-0 on the Columbia Vipers. So the G Unit might be getting their first victory of the season. I know Marcus London and company down there in Northwest Arkansas. It's been a tough year. It's been a tough existence for them since 2020. Just have kind of been the proverbial redheaded stepchild of whatever league they're in. They've been beaten down, but looking to maybe get a victory on merit here in Week 7. Try and get one into the score on the win column, into the left-hand column for them. We shall see. We'll get updates on that as they come.
And just so quick point out over to that Generals game, Coach London is a very respected guy in this semi-pro football community here in our little 4-state quadrant. So definitely love to see the Generals getting the W tonight. But here we are back in Crusader action. Kendall Holmes dropping back, letting it go.
Of course, why not? It's worked before. That time it doesn't. Incomplete. Be a turnover on downs. And stop me if you've heard me say this before, Carter, but the Titans have life.
Once again, they have another chance at life, and it all depends on just what kind of play calling they have. I don't think they can pass it anymore, Steven. It has got to be the Marlon Brown, Jay Robinson show, which not taking anything away from this quarterback. It's just these defenders are just cutting down every angle he has, every hallway there is to throw in. I mean, he just hasn't found anything.
Yeah, it is not going well for backup quarterback D. Downton. Again, the reason he ended the game in the second quarter, Julius Sebastiano went down with an injury behind the play. And, yeah, it's been his show, Downton's show, ever since. But, yeah, you're right. I think the law offices of Brown and Robinson have to get after it here in this third quarter if the Titans want to stand any chance. Another update for you, 15-12, Cyclones over the Falcons. We'll confirm if that is a final or not. Another quick pitch, the play they scored on last time. This time, not going to be a 90-yard touchdown, but a loss of about 3 on the play. And the clock will run nearing the 3-minute mark of the quarter.
Great tackle there from that Crusader defender as he uses the running back's own momentum against him, kind of spins him to the ground. It would be a nice tackle for loss. They're going to make it 2nd and 13.
Again, you know, that's the tricky thing for the Titans. If this ground game doesn't work, what do you got? It is really slim pickings if they can't get anything going on the ground other than maybe a broken play or two.
Yeah, no run game equals a big challenge here for the Titans offense. And with the clock ticking away, I mean, we're just about to be under the 2-minute 30 mark. They kind of need something to happen now.
Well, Downton, left alone to his devices, he's going to decide to throw it down the field, and that one nearly intercepted as well. That's to your point, Carter. It has been a roll of the dice every time that ball leaves the hands of Downton. You never know what jersey is going to come down with it.
And you'd think they'd have their eye on number 5, Quinnell Johnson, as he almost comes down with his 3rd interception of the day. But just not able to keep track of number 5 as he is just all over the ball when it goes into the air.
And can confirm that score, the Cyclones improved to 7-0 as well, 15-12, a thriller between the Birds and the Tornadoes as they improved to 7-0 to match what the Bears have done in the Great Plains Conference. The Cyclones, the other lone undefeated team, receiving one of the 7 available first-place votes. Screenplay set up and thrown to nobody.
Yep, just kind of a breakdown immediately. I mean, the black jerseys just got an immediate push into the backfield, and there was no lane to even get a screen off. I mean, maybe if it was to the right side, but going to the left, yep, no shot. Lucky to get away with just an incomplete there.
Well, 4th and about 13, 2:19 to go, third quarter. As this game's really kind of dropped anchor in terms of a momentum on either side. We thought Joplin was going to have another 6 points going in on their own, or on the Titans 4. Ends up the football basically where the Titans have it currently on the turnover on downs, and could be facing another turnover on downs. No, we're going to have our second punt attempt of the night.
Wow, don't see it your whole career, all of a sudden 2 in one night. I mean, what a crazy day here in the CMFL.
The first one blocked for a safety, so we'll see if the second one's any better. One hopped in the backfield. The big man's running with it, and he's going to be brought down almost immediately, chopped down like a big oak tree.
Yep.
And the crew going to have the football back in Titan territory again.
Yep, needed a punt, needed to give yourself a little room so your defense could try and make a stop for you, but bad snap ends up not being able to get the kickoff, and this is going to be in enemy territory for the Crusaders as they get the ball starting at around the 25 here.
As you take another look, I mean, there's no protection on the punt team, and the punter that time for the Titans, just a sitting duck, and it's open season.
Like I've been saying, there ain't a whole lot of punting here in the CMFL. Not everyone's used to it, man.
As we set to get back underway. 2:10 to go, third quarter. Again, resetting the game for you. Joplin 38, Midwest Titans 20. As the Crusaders have led the entire game. They were up 12-0 to start in the first quarter, and we thought this one was going to be a runaway, but the Titans found a little bit of life here and there, traded some scores as it sits at an 18-point game. Little pop pass action. Curry turning on the Jets. One man to beat. Touchdown, Crusaders, as easy as Sunday morning.
Exactly. Strength and speed there from number 6, Tajon Curry. And like we've seen before in this game, he's strong, he's fast, and he's able to make a difference for his team. Crusaders once again with another 6 points.
Well, that scoring drive, I can do the math on that one pretty easy. 25 yards, 9 seconds.
Yeah, good job. We did get our high school diplomas, both of us. We are real smart human beings. But Tajon Curry, he is a freak of nature when he has that pigskin in his hand.
Well, another 2-point opportunity. This has been the Achilles heel, I would say, offensively for Joplin. Something maybe, there's always room for improvement. This might be the spot that they could improve. I mean, you get enough 2-point tries in a game when you're up 44-20, so a lot of opportunities to get better. Scramble, thrown, picked off. And that's as far as we go. 44-20 your score. Joplin looking to make this one late, early in the end of the third quarter. We'll take a break here from MSSU and bring you the rest of the third quarter when we return.
With the taste of friends, family, and backyard barbecues, Bentonville Brewing Company. Family owned, family operated, family friendly. Pick up a 6-pack of your favorite IPA, porter, sours, or any one of the delicious flavors Bentonville Brewing has to offer. Or enjoy a cold one on tap at your favorite restaurant. Bentonville Brewing Company. Quality, consistency, assume your natural state. Bentonville Brewing Company, Bentonville, Arkansas.
Welcome back to Hughes Stadium here in Joplin. To update you on a few things. Again, the Bears have already won today. The Generals look like they're on their way to getting their first win of the season. Cyclones survive an upset scare. And the Central Illinois Cougars, another score final to update you on, they put a spanking on the Commissioners team, 33-0 over the Kansas City Panthers.
33-0. That's a heck of a score right there. A lot of points for one team and just absolutely nothing for the other. Going to be two completely different practices for both sides here next week.
And not to mean this in a degrading way, but I would say just based on the quality of players in this league at this level, it's pretty impressive to shut somebody out over 4 15-minute quarters. As you know, we've seen in this game with a backup quarterback, the Titans still have had some offense.
Mm-hmm, no doubt. I mean, anybody can take over this game at any time. I mean, there's the Crusaders are not the only team in the league with 3 playmakers on offense. I mean, there are other teams with weapons, so I mean, they can make a move at any given moment at any given time.
And there's been some really good ones over the years, whether it's been in the CMFL these last couple of years, the 4SFL before that. I think back to some of the teams that Tulsa put out, the 2020, 21, and 22 teams in the 4SFL. Those Tulsa Gator teams were loaded with talent on the offensive side of the football as well as defensive. But, there's some really quality players in this league, whether that be at that quarterback position or, a Danny Knighton, for instance, who can play pretty much any position on the offensive skill tree.
Mm-hmm.
As it'll be a rush on first down. The clock will roll. Under a minute 45 to go in our penultimate quarter. As, again, 2 more weeks of regular season action after this. Crusaders, believe, have a game, and I use air quotes at home. You can't see my fingers, but use a game against the Diamondbacks, I believe, who've already packed up camp and called it a season. And then they end, I believe, with the Tulsa Gators, which if you're Tulsa is Titans drop back to pass, complete at the sticks. We'll see if they give them the first down. Going to be a yard short. Going to be a 3rd and 1 or so coming up. But if you're the Gators, this has been an interesting season for them as we have another injured Titan. This one, Jamal Mitchell. But if you're the Gators, this has been a bit of a step back year, I feel like, for Tulsa. Over the years, they've been one of those teams kind of on that same level or like a 1B level of like the Bears and these Crusaders we see here tonight. And, they find themselves kind of mired in that mid-pack with the Titans, below the Skyhawks, below the Crusaders, and they have a tough road to get to the playoffs. They will, with only 6 teams left being in this division. But, definitely maybe a season to forget for the Gators.
Yeah, coming from last season where they were probably the only team that really could face the Crusaders and give them an even day, have a competitive matchup, to this season where they're 2-3, kind of struggling to find an offense. And with a guy like Garrett Griffith under center, you expect them to have a high-flying offense, expect them to be able to throw that ball around. But for some reason, the Gators just have not been able to click this year. But I'm telling you, folks, do not write off the Tulsa Gators because they can get hot at any moment.
Yeah, just looking at it, as you see at home, they currently sit in 5th place, 3-2, but they only have a +8 point differential on the season, which that's, I think, the crazy part is you have years in the past with Garrett Griffin at quarterback and Buchanan at running back and all these tools and all these weapons on that offensive side of the football just putting up buckets and buckets of points, only to have scored 74 this year and only have a +8 point differential is quite unfathomable, I feel like.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I'm sure if you would have told the Gators that at the middle of this season and coming near the end of it that they only had an +8 point differential, they would be like, yeah, shut up, man. We're second in the league. We're running things. It's been a weird year for them, but you still have Garrett Griffith. You still have Buchanan. You still have those guys from last year. You just need to get them back into a groove to where they're making the same plays they once were.
And that's the other important thing. All hope's not lost for the Gators because you look at the bracket at home. Right now, the way things stand, the Titans are headed for another loss. The Gators, I believe, not in action this week. So basically the 4 and 5 lines are going to flip on each other, and they'll get to host a game potentially at Inola. Hopefully we can have that for you on the Southern Sports Network. But, that helps your situation a little bit because if you go from being that 5 to that 4, as dumb as it sounds, but if you win that game, if you're the 4, you go to the 2 seed. If you win that game and you're the 5, you're more than likely going to go have a date with the Bears. So it's basically trying to keep away from the Oklahoma Bears for as long as possible.
There is a method to the madness, Stephen, no doubt. Because the Oklahoma Bears, they're looking like the team to beat. They're looking like the team that is unstoppable, for lack of a better word.
Well, quarterback sneak on 3rd and short. Looks like the initial mark. They're going to move the sticks. We'll see if this will be the last play of the quarter or not. But, yeah, that's the thing. And the reason I say that is, with semi-pro, people have to take off jobs. This is not a everyday thing for these people. And so, you might get them on a week where a skill player or a key person for the Bears, might have to take a family vacation or might can't get off work. And you just never know who's going to be able to travel for these games.
Exactly. And, I've seen Braxton Reed, number 88, the D-end, at every game for the Crusaders from last year to this year, but he's not here today. So I'm assuming he just had something come up. So it definitely happens, but luckily most teams have a lot of playmakers so they can fill in need be if someone doesn't show up.
Well, we played 4 here in Joplin. Your score after 3, 44-20. Titans still with the football trying to make this a game.
With a taste of friends, family, and backyard barbecues. Bentonville Brewing Company. Family owned, family operated, family friendly. Pick up a 6-pack of your favorite IPA, porter, sours, or any one of the delicious flavors Bentonville Brewing has to offer. Or enjoy a cold one on tap at your favorite restaurant. Bentonville Brewing Company. Quality, consistency, assume your natural state. Bentonville Brewing Company, Bentonville, Arkansas.
Welcome back to Hughes Stadium as we await the start of the fourth quarter. Again, Missouri Southern, a member of the MIAA D2 football school. I'll give you a trivia question here, Carter. Who is Missouri Southern's biggest rival?
Biggest rival.
And I would say it's pretty much in any sport. They're also in the MIAA.
Aren't they the Donkeys? It's the
So you're thinking of Central Missouri.
Yeah.
They are, I would say, a rival, but not the biggest one. My hint to you, they're very close to here.
very close to here. Kansas City University?
No, closer not. Got the first word of what state they're in. They're not in Missouri.
I have no idea.
Pittsburgh State Gorillas.
Pittsburgh. I have a friend from high school. Her grandpa was actually the head coach of the Pittsburgh State football team for a long time. He might still be. So should have known that one, Steven. Should have known that one.
No worries. I know more on the basketball side of things. There's a big deal. I think a couple seasons ago, Missouri Southern's coach left to go to Pitt State and definitely ruffled some feathers with the with the Lions. Is kind of left for a little bit more money and a little better potential opportunity is the alleged conversation there. But, yeah, no, Pittsburgh State football program, one of the perennial powers in the D2 level. Missouri Southern, no slouches themselves as we get set to start the fourth quarter as nothing overly exciting on that play for the Titans. Of course, other MIAA schools, like you mentioned, University of Central Missouri, Northeastern State over in Tahlequah, home of the Riverhawks, one of our members of our Southern sports family, Carson Smallwood, played there. Rogers State University, a basketball and baseball member. Yeah, right there in Claremore. You love the old Claremore Expo.
Central Oklahoma?
Yeah, UCO. The Broncos are as well.
I thought they were.
And I know next athletic year anyway, so starting in this fall, the University of Arkansas Fort Smith will be joining the MIAA. They're leaving the Lone Star, so the MIAA will go all the way from Kearney, Nebraska, all the way down to Fort Smith, Arkansas, and all the way over to Fort Hays, Kansas.
Dang, moving up in the world. I kind of like that, getting some new blood here in the league. A nice tackle there from the Crusaders defense. Marlon Brown running hard, thought he was going to get 4 or 5, and just gets stopped like a
like he just dropped an anchor out of a boat.
Wall. Yeah, man, just got hit and fell down.
Looked like he was out on Lake Tenkiller.
Shoot, if only.
But, going back is we have a 3rd and 10 on the way for the Titans. The general score, that is surprising. They've had a tough year. They're 0-for on the season, but potentially going to get not just a win, but a shutout victory over the Vipers after losing their quarterback earlier this season. Downton throws it downfield. Not going to be, I think, enough for the first down and incomplete anyway. So 4th down on the way for the Titans. Great job on the effort from Washington, but couldn't keep it in bounds.
Yeah, Washington, I bet he wishes he could get that one back because a great throw by number 18, the Titans QB. Put it right to the numbers. I think that's when you kind of got to come down with. It was near the out-of-bounds line, but hit him right in the chest, man.
4th down. We've seen 2 block punts from the Titans, so I imagine we won't see a 3rd opportunity. As the clock runs off the incompletion, interesting choice from the clock operator. And now it stops. I feel like maybe they're just trying to sneak a couple seconds here and there. You always hear about home cooking, whether that be officials. I've never heard about a home cooking for a clock operator, but hey, here we are. Yeah. So 4th down, Downton heaves it downfield. Caught.
And what a better catch.
Laying out for it that time is Jamal Mitchell. Makes a great individual effort on Downton's throw. And, the Titans have a 1st and goal opportunity to make it a little closer of a ball game at this point. I would say, they might have dug the hole too deep too late to get out of it, but can at least make this more respectable.
No doubt, Steven, but, man, I am just happy we all got to see a little bit of that Jamal Mitchell magic because, like I said, that first drive for the Titans, he is a man who can do things for this football team. And a nice grabbing catch right there to move his team into the 10-yard line.
Well, nothing there on 1st and goal. Right into the teeth of the Crusaders' defense. as we near 12.5 to go in the game. As second and goal. Again, we've been bringing you semi-pro action all season long. Next week, be a big one. Gators at the Bears, and then we'll close out our coverage on June 29th. Pitch play blown up in the backfield. We'll close out our regular season coverage with the Gators and Crusaders right here in Joplin. As a couple of big games, and you want these big games at the end of your season. They mean just that little hair more, especially for playoff implications. The Gators basically have to run a gauntlet to close out this year if they just want to have a chance of getting a good seed into that playoff tournament.
And that's a little bit of that yin-yang type scenario because, like you said, I mean, you do kind of want that gauntlet at the end of the year to get that momentum going. You're able to pull out those wins, or 2 out of 3, say. You got some confidence going into the playoffs, but you go 1-3, you're thinking, man, these boys are tough, man. We got to play them again here in 2 weeks. So kind of see both sides of that, but, man, in my personal opinion, I'd rather get them out the way early.
Get them out early and you can build back. Yeah. Well, that ball too high. I don't think a flag will come in, as that was well uncatchable. Goes all the way to the track.
Yeah, that, and I mean, good no call. Both guys were grabbing John. I mean, you could have given that either way. So I like the no call.
I would say, to that point, as we take another look at it, the officials tonight have called a very clean game, I would say. Other than that, I was a little questionable on the early pass interference when that was like the 35-yard penalty where the ball was clearly underthrown and he came back to it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really can't argue with much tonight.
And we have seen him be a little bit call-happy here before, but, yeah, tonight, no complaints. I mean, everything except for the one you just talked about, everything has seemed fair and well-deserved, for lack of a better term. So kudos to the referee team here as the Titans look to make this more reasonable, get themselves over that 25-point mark.
I believe would be one of the higher point totals that the Crusaders have given up this year. Downton looking downtown. That one intercepted in the end zone, so no points. Ball pops out. They're going to say he was down before the fumble. So we have a flag also on the play, so we got a lot to unpack here. We'll see which one, happened first, chicken or the egg. Was it the pick or the flag? As we take another look at the replay, Downton is just, it's never easy when you're the backup quarterback at any level, let alone at a semi-pro level where, the guy who's the starter is normally going to be your all-world player, probably your best player on your team.
9 out of 10 times, for sure.
But, he's done the best that he can tonight.
And like you said, he's done the best that he can. That wasn't a bad ball. I mean, it wasn't a dying duck, just floating in the sky ready to come and hit the ground. I mean, it had good spiral. It was going towards where he wanted it. Just needed a little more oomph. And that's kind of been the name of the game with this backup QB. Just need a little more oomph. Need a little bit more experience. Just kind of a little bit more time with the ones, I would say.
Well, he might, depending upon how severe the injury is to Sebastiano, might be getting that. And that, that's the thing at this level that's so interesting is the ball, it looks like, going to stay with the Titans in a reset of downs, as it'll be another penalty. We're starting to string them together. But what I was going to say is that this level, injuries, especially to some of these top teams or these teams maybe that sort of category below, can be massive year killers. When you lose, your superstar or your stud player, it's hard to fill that position with somebody just even maybe a quarter or half of the talent.
Oh, you're exactly right. It's not every team has a Kendall Holmes that can step in and fill the shoes of a Jacob Parker.
It's a good problem to have.
Exactly. I mean, that is a blessing and a curse, honestly. But most teams have one good QB and a second that can get the job done but just isn't as gifted, for lack of a better term. So, yeah, injuries are key. And that's football in general. I mean, you see injuries happen all the time. That's why the 18-game schedule in the NFL was such a big deal. Because, I mean, like guys like all the running backs are, how the hell are we supposed to go 18 games without getting hurt, We're going against 300-pound men. And this is the same case. These boys might not be 300 pounds, but they are big men, and they have played football their whole lives and love the game.
They certainly have, and we've kind of hit a bit of a stalemate, I feel like, here. Had a couple of cracks at first and goal, second and goal, third and goal, so on and so forth for the Titans. And, you've run, I think this is the 5th play within now the 15. We'll bump it back since they're outside the 10, but just have not been able to uncrack the code to get into the end zone this time.
I feel like that's a little bit of our fault there, Steven, as we just talked about how good the referees were.
And Downton going to scamper out of bounds. Picks up a yard. And we go under 10 minutes to go in the game. 5 minutes down, 10 to go in the fourth quarter. Your score again, 44-20. The Crusaders have led from the jump.
Yep, came out hot, had a little bit of a couple hiccups, kind of let the Titans claw their way back in, couple self errors on the Crusaders' part, but nonetheless, Kendall Holmes and this offense have really taken charge, and every time they saw an opportunity to make this lead bigger, they took it.
They certainly have. Last week beating the Generals 46-6 down there in Northwest Arkansas. They're 44 points tonight, so averaging 45 over the last 2 weeks. That's a pretty good point total to be pushing going into the playoffs.
It couldn't happen at a better time either, Steven.
Yeah, they certainly are getting hot at the right time. That one in through a set of hands. Incomplete.
Thought I saw a piece of
I did too. Yeah, it's right there. Right beside the 10-yard line in the middle of the field. So we'll check the marker, take another look at it. That ball had some steam on it coming across the middle. Definitely will say all the quarterbacks that have partaken in this game have not been afraid to throw it over the middle.
No. They see daylight and they try and thread the needle, man. A couple of times they have, too. Kendall Holmes and
Sebastiano,
Sebastiano, I mean, definitely have good wings on them.
Well, we have approached 9:30. This game started 3 hours ago.
Starting to feel like this is a Major League Baseball game at some points.
Got to turn on the pitch clock somewhere.
Exactly. 20 seconds, baby.
Well, while they figure out this penalty, I guess now might be a good time to revisit that conversation, let you think on it a little bit with the situation for the Crusaders going into these last couple weeks of the regular season and into the playoffs with an injured Jacob Park potentially coming back into the fold. You have a Kendall Holmes who's put up 46 points last week, 44 points this week, has played relatively clean tonight. His strength is running the football, and tonight I think he showed that he can throw the football accurately as well and find targets. As we have a timeout on the field taken by the Titans, we'll keep it here. But for you, this Park-Holmes debate is going to rage on, I feel like, for the next 3 weeks or so as we push for the playoffs. You have that bye week potentially for Joplin. What are your thoughts on it?
I just don't see how you take Kendall Holmes out of this offense. I mean, he's gotten them to where they are now. Jacob Parker has been out of the game for a month and a half, 2 months. I mean, it's going to take him 2-3 weeks to even get back into that groove, get that shoulder right, get that elbow right, get the feel for where he needs to put the ball. And, I mean, you could have him as a backup, Parker, and, have Kendall Holmes on maybe a short leaf if you feel it necessary. But I don't know how you don't stick with Kendall Holmes if you're the Joplin Crusaders. I mean, we've seen him struggle at times, but this is the potential you can have with Kendall Holmes. 44 points on the night. I mean, still got 9 minutes left, and every touchdown has come by way of Kendall Holmes touching the ball on it one play or another. If it be just a pass or a quick toss, I mean, he finds a way.
He certainly does, and he's done a great job tonight. Has kept it relatively clean. I think has, 2 or 3 interceptions, but 2 interceptions tonight. So, keeping that number down. Your defense has also done a good job of thwarting any points off of turnover opportunities for the opposition. So, I agree with you. I think Kendall Holmes has to be the quarterback through the rest of the season. You can get to the offseason, and, when you have the trophy in the case and you're sipping champagne and eating caviar, you can make that decision for what your 2025 team might look like. But, yeah, I agree with you. I think Kendall Holmes has to be the quarterback. He's the hot hand. He has the most experience at this level. He got you to the ship last year.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think it's definitely a good problem to have when you have a former Big 12 quarterback on your bench. Is Downton heaving it downtown, and that one incomplete.
And like you said, I mean, Kendall Holmes has been here. He's experienced. And once you put the trophy in the case, let the boys duke it out. Let them go into the offseason, fight each other for that one spot because, like coaches will always tell you, your spot is never safe.
Yep.
You lollygag, you play around, we'll find someone who wants to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100% agree with you. And, the other thing of it, the beauty of semi-pro is, there's no guarantee that Jacob Park is on the Crusaders next year. He could go be a Gator. He could be a General. He could be a War Cat. He could be a Skyhawk. He could go anywhere he'd like. There are no, multi-million-dollar contracts and contract extensions like Trevor Lawrence got, this week. It's just sort of wherever you want to go play on Saturdays, that's where you can go. We'll have a turnover on downs after all of that for the Titans.
Yeah, it's going to be a turnover, and the Titans just think have kind of called it in here. Just a little mix-up on that play, but they're just kind of dropping back and throwing it as far as they can.
Yeah, I've had 8 straight and goal situation plays and turned it over on downs after all of it. Turned it over on downs technically twice. We did have the penalty where they got him the fresh set. We'll see if Sam Sturgis will send the starters out, as this one pretty much over, especially with another score for the Crew. Again, they'll be back in action in 2 weeks on the Southern Sports Network. That game against the Gators, a little rivalry game, the I-44 war.
Always a good one.
Yep.
I know the one last year was, so definitely excited for the I-44 battle.
And that one should be good. Of course, next week we have great coverage for you as well. Bears-Gators, again, another rivalry game. The two big cities in the state of Oklahoma don't like each other a whole heck of a lot. So should be an interesting stretch run. A quick screen, quick hitter out to Johnson, and he'll scamper out of bounds. Has to watch out for the bench there, but will be enough, I think, for the first down. I think we have a flag as well. As, I think some tempers getting to the end of their rope for the Titans tonight.
That was a little iffy. It looked like the defender kind of got pushed into the guy as he was running out of bounds, but definitely made contact past the white block, so I can see why the ref threw the laundry out.
Yeah, and it's not like the Crusaders probably need any help scoring on this drive, as I believe Kendall Holmes still in at quarterback, so, they are trying to go for the throat if they hadn't already. Another 6 points would make it a 50-20 game, really would put the hurt on the Titans. I would like to see on Monday or Sunday, whatever day the rankings end up coming out, if the Titans stay in the top 10. This is, I know they were, 6th coming into today in those top 10 rankings, but, beat down like this against the number 3 team in those polls would be pretty tough, as Holmes getting a little greedy there, airing it out.
This isn't the first time I've seen it, but it still baffles me every time the Crusaders get up by a large amount and still want to just hum that baby down the field. Doesn't really make sense to me, but whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, hey, they're all here for the point differential, I guess, or something like that.
Something like that.
That's the interesting thing I was just thinking about. Speaking of point differential, so the Bears and the Crusaders aren't going to play each other in the regular season. A, an oversight on the league. But B, I was just thinking about this. So let's say, hypothetically, we'll put our tinfoil hats on with 7:45 to go.
Exactly.
The Gators, let's say, beat the Bears somehow next week. And both these teams end up the season with one loss and yet didn't play each other. I guess you have to go down to that point differential.
Have to. Like you said, it's a misfire by the league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a game that literally should have been probably the first one they made.
Yeah.
Because, I'm pretty sure most of us knew who were going to be the best 2 teams in that side of the league in the Great Plains Conference. But it didn't happen. So, yeah, that point differential is the only way you can kind of make that decision, really.
Yeah, and if we look at the point differential currently, as we put it on the screen for you, the Crusaders will get another 13 points tonight. The Bears, I believe, have gotten another 13 points as well. So it's about a 10-point differential. So, it's going to come down to, in that game with the Gators, if they were to lose, it's how much you're going to lose by. If it's, a touchdown, that's fine. You might see a situation where, they maybe try and kick a field goal at the end of the game or do something crazy just, for the point differential. As still running for the Crusaders, we'll get to about the 38-yard line, so it'll be a short down and distance on the way, but out of bounds, so it stops the clock at 6:31.
This Titans D just looking a little sluggish and kind of looking like they're ready to go back.
Yeah.
To where they came from. I mean, this thing, 24-point difference. Crusaders still throwing 20-yard bombs.
Yeah. They definitely don't know how to take the foot off the pedal.
No. Foot on the throat at all time.
They're like the Cobra Kai of this league.
I can respect it. I really can.
4th down and 4. Blitz comes. One of the rare blitzes tonight.
Honestly,
chest pass complete.
Wow.
And why not? Give him 6. It's 5 touchdown passes on the night for Mr. Kendall Holmes. He's had himself an evening. That's going to be caught and brought in by Johnson for another touchdown reception on the evening for him. That was purely nothing more, I think, than a chest pass. It genuinely looked like a chest pass from Holmes. That play was pretty much dead, and he just sort of flicks it out there.
Exactly. Just a little bit of magic, really. I mean, saw a guy with the same jersey as him and just kind of said, here you go, take it.
Yeah, we take another look at it. Holmes probably was dead to rights there in the backfield, just sort of slings it, uses the official as a pick, and off to the races is Johnson for the hard bit of the work.
And at first I thought that was a designed run for Holmes, which, this late in the ball game, you're up 20, 30 points. I couldn't believe your quarterback was running like that. But luckily his eyes are always downfield. He just makes a little bit of a flip, and there you go. Put 6 on the board. Stays on his feet.
Yeah. No, ball falls out, and, they run the clock during the 2-point conversion. I don't, per se, hate it. But another empty 2-point conversion is – I don't know if the Crusaders have – they might have gotten 1 or 2 this night because, they have scored a lot of touchdowns, but I think really the only 2 points they got this evening was off the safety.
No, they did have 3 good 2-point conversions plus the safety.
Gotcha.
See, Holmes, Curry, and Mr. Curry.
Letting him cook, I guess you could say.
Yeah. From deep.
Well, we appreciate the fans here at Hughes Stadium that have stuck around as it is getting closer to 10 o'clock.
Most people here probably got a decent little drive ahead of them. So, definitely respect all the Crusader and Titan fans out there. Thank you for joining us here on Southern Sports Network.
As Joplin looks like they're going to improve on the year to 5-1. Really just kind of it's all over but for the final score at this rate. As 6 minutes to go. I want to thank the rest of our crew this evening, to Charles on camera and Joshua Weisel making his producer debut this evening. Normally see Joshua as our chief meteorologist, who does a fantastic job getting everyone prepared for what the weather's going to look like on game day across the CMFL, but stepping into a little different role tonight, and I have to say, doing a fantastic job.
Exactly. I love hearing about tornadoes all the way in Indiana, Josh. Thank you for all those group texts.
Yeah, he keeps us. Yeah, he definitely keeps us up to date. I know, Southern Sports owner Chris Dotson, his house hit by a tornado, but on that night oh my gosh, wow.
Hey, take it. Ew.
Oh my gosh.
No way.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't advance it unless it was a fumble by the Titans, but that's
kind of how this night's went.
Yeah,
for the Titans.
Yeah,
really.
there is such a thing as winning with grace, but to heck with that, I suppose. But what I was going to say is, I know I forget how long ago that was at this point. It feels like we've had a very active spring for storms, and we've had a lot of them to keep track on. But I remember the night that at Chris's house over in Claremore got hit by that tornado. Josh was on top of it, letting everybody know in the group message. And then also that same storm actually came over into northwest Arkansas, had some severe damage as well there. And I know ultimately, same storm for me, my family back home in southeast Missouri, that storm, my hometown necessarily didn't have a tornado, but straight line winds and everything like that. So definitely, it's a very important job.
Oh, no doubt. Let me tell you, Stephen, I mean, I live real close to Claremore, and they got hit like a freight train. I mean, it was not a good sight. A lot of emergency crews having to come in and make sure that everyone still has electricity and power and things like that. But just thankfully, almost everyone was safe, and we've moved past it now. It's just the reconstruction phase.
Certainly. Josh Dickey, first time call his name tonight, got the end around. I think they're trying to spread the wealth a little bit. Up 30 with 5.5 minutes to go. I know, the spring was a very active weather spring. I have to look over here at Josh and ask him off. Obviously, you don't have a mic, but what would you say June, July as we get into summer? What's your prediction?
Probably starting to get into a drier period, but we could have a couple weeks of storms still.
That's okay. Interesting. So, Josh going with the drying pattern, but a potential couple weeks of storms as well.
I'll believe it when I see it, because Oklahoma is supposed to be a drought state, and we've had rain like 3 months straight, like every other week. It's been crazy, dude.
I mean, I'm sure the farmers are loving it.
Oh, no doubt, dude. Corn's been on point lately.
I assume this will be a very good agricultural year. As it stopped me if you've heard this one, but the Joplin Crusaders have scored another touchdown.
We were too busy talking tornadoes. 56,
I mean, honestly,
20 here.
No offense to the game, but I feel like the tornadoes are a little bit more exciting than how this one's ending.
I literally didn't. No Kendall Holmes, though. We got
him out of the game finally. Yep, it's Daquan Johnson. Johnson, why not? Give you two more. Nope, through the hands of Tyrell Johnson. And importantly, with that touchdown, the clock should run the rest of the night, as it's a 36-point differential. 4:30 to go as that clock rolls, Carter.
Slowly but surely as, there it goes, stops again. Nope, it's back. Love to see it. Been a kind of a long game here in the second half, but there's been plenty of action, Stephen. I mean, I've loved it. First half, it was back and forth, and now the Crusaders have kind of taken control, but you got to respect the Titans' heart and what they've been able to do today. Yeah, you certainly do, and, it is never tough, or never easy, sorry. It's always tough when you in semi-pro travel all this way and you get 56 hung on you. It's tough at any level. I know in high school, my high school senior year, the way the Missouri State playoffs work, we were the 1 seed, ended up and eventually going on to the state championship game, but played a school in Missouri, because everybody gets into the playoffs, played a school that had just like their second year of having football, and they scored 80 points in the first half. And that was with the second string in the second quarter. So it's never easy for people to handle that, but I think through that adversity it makes you better, I feel like. No doubt. And yeah, there are teams like that. I mean, I remember hearing about two-way schools having that same sort of deal. I remember Locust Grove. I mean, they had Mason Fine.
Yeah, the Pirates.
He went to North Texas and then went to play in the Canadian League. Probably still there right now. And I think they won the state average about 50, 60 points. I mean, it was just over and over. At least 4 or 5 touchdowns from the man. Yeah,
these small schools, when they get one or two guys that are maybe like a D2 to FCS level talent, that can really change the fortunes, as they kick deep this time for Joplin into the end zone. I was going to say, nobody blowing the whistle for the touchback. Don't stop the clock. It is a 35-point differential. They have stopped the clock. I feel like we need to have somebody go in there and maybe alert them
Yep.
that it's a 35-point game and the clock shouldn't stop.
As our cameraman looks straight at him.
Yeah, DeCharles he's a man of the rules, and he'll get it straightened out. Oh, man, as DeCharles passes along. The refs have told us that we are not going to run the clock tonight because
we forgot to mention at the beginning of the show they are paid by the hour now.
Yeah, I guess so.
We are
yeah.
inching this baby out as long as possible. DeCharles has picked up the camera and is walking off.
I wouldn't put words into Charles' mouth, but
he gives me a dirty side eye.
He has some really cool tattoos. I have to give him his props.
Well, Charles is a cool guy.
He is a cool cat.
Scary sometimes, but cool guy.
Everybody has that edge to him, I suppose.
Except us.
Yeah. We're just we're as docile as they come. But back underway as the clock will move. Maybe there it goes. They started it with 3:55 to go. I think the Titans really could just take a knee the rest of the night, and we could just call this an evening. But here we are.
I would doubt that would happen, Steven, but would be interesting. I'm sure the Titans want to see if they can get one last little hoorah here.
Well, I'm sure they do.
See if they can get Marlon Brown into the end zone one last time. Maybe a Jay Robinson, another 90-yard run. As Jay Robinson, speak of the devil.
Just keep him in bounds.
Oh, my gosh. Jay Robinson running like a man possessed. As you see, he just bulldozed one of those Crusaders. I think that was number
Some frustration,
9.
I would say. Taking out a little frustration there.
Just making sure to leave all that anger out on the field, man.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about at this level is, you go across states and et cetera. I feel like, it's going to be a long car ride home, so you might as well get the aggression out now. Or you're just going to have to, sit and sulk for however long.
Mm-hmm.
2:40 to go in the game. Again, stick with us next week as the ball's on the ground. Nobody wants to get on it. Joplin wants to get on it. And we'll have a turnover with 2:20 to go because that's where the evening's going.
Exactly. Wouldn't be surprised to see another 6 here from the Crusaders.
Yeah, they do like to score. They like to score at will. With 2:22, take another look at it. Even the quarterback for the Titans didn't even want to get on it. Kind of Cam Newton'd that one. And see Sam Sturgis out there. I wonder if he's talking to the officials, seeing if they can just call this game.
Yeah, we got places to be, my man.
Yeah, I was going to say all the establishments are going to be closed.
For all our arena football fans, just got a quick text. The Tulsa Oilers broke a 6-game losing streak tonight. So shout out to the arena football team out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah, good for them. Not to be confused with the Tulsa Oilers hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
The only way I know it's the arena team is because they're not in season.
Yes.
Nice little marketing tool there between the two.
Oilers been around for a while. I remember going to a hockey game when I was little, and it's cool, the Arena Football League, because there are a couple CMFL alum over playing in the Arena Football League.
There
so
certainly is. There is a pipeline from semi-pro to that league as well. I was going to say though, my girlfriend and I went to a Oilers game earlier this year. Yep, there it is. Oh my gosh! I mean, it's a great catch, but. It's a little much at this point.
It just seems a little crazy at this point. You never want to tell a coach how to coach. But man, oh man.
Because, that didn't even run time off the clock.
But then you think about the point differential thing we talked about earlier, and you might need the extra points here. You might need them.
You want to leave some, I feel like, though, for the rest of the season. Don't want to score all your points tonight.
No doubt.
.208 is we have a flag on the play. I think the Titans might be just done. I wouldn't blame them because Like, when it was 50-20, that's one thing. Then you go and try and run up the score and score 2 more touchdowns. That's
I mean, there's been 3 touchdowns, I think,
yeah.
since the 6-minute mark.
And they're all on one side of the field. I mean, there's not a lot of energy out of the Titans at this point. I know, not even surprised. Would be shocked if they came back out for the kickoff at this point. That's tough.
Yeah. Ref's still trying to talk this over with the Titans coach. I mean, still a piece of laundry out on the field. Still a long way to go for this.
Night's done.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was going to say, this entire chat, I feel like, would have at least run off 2 minutes on the game clock.
I would say so. We'd at least be at 15 seconds.
I vouch. I just, I know I probably have no say or anything. I just would like to appease to the commissioner or the league or whoever next year for the rules. Just the 35-point margin, make it at every level, that's the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Just run the clock. Because nobody wants to be a part of a blowout like this where teams are just trying to hang points.
I mean, this is getting a little. I'm confused on what's going on. We got coaches on the sideline. We got referees just standing and staring. I mean, I'm a little confused on what's going on here.
Yeah, it's
like, what are these two at the bottom right of the field on the 10-yard line doing? Why are they on the field?
Yeah. Why are they on the field?
Unless
now
that
we
guy
got
carrying the ball is a ball boy, which I actually think I know who that is. I think that's a coach.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I mean, what could you possibly have to say with 2 minutes left here in the game when you're up 35? More than that, up 42.
Yeah, you've doubled.
Literally, you've done enough coaching today, I think.
Yeah, A+ for everybody on the coaching staff. Now, can we please just?
We got players sitting down on the ground. I mean, this is a little, for lack of a better word, annoying.
Yeah, I would say it's a bit of a joke. It's a tough. It's a really unfortunate way for this game to end as well. I mean, if it's going to end. I'm sure that's the conversation that's going on, but
and now Sam Sturgis is out there. I mean,
yeah. All right.
As we finally hear some whistles, I think this thing's getting underway. And I don't know if the two sides were going back and forth with each other, if the ref made a.
Nope, Sam's just on the field now.
Now we got.
Oh, and all that to not complete it. Oh, man.
All that for that.
Yeah,
all right,
all
Steven,
that
there
for
we
that.
go.
Yeah.
No good on the 2-pointer.
Okay. 2 minutes to go. We'll take a break and try and figure this all out here on the Southern Sports Network, and be back after this.
Semi-Pro Saturday is brought to you in part by 950 Ways Graphics. Professional graphics for players, coaches, and teams. Trust the pros at 950 Ways Graphics and look them up on Facebook at 950 Ways Graphics.
Welcome back. As the game that will never or will refuse to end keeps on chugging here in Joplin. I believe the Quick Trip that I'm going to go to after this, it won't even be open for taquitos.
They'll be getting their donuts in by the time you show up, which actually doesn't sound too bad.
I do love a Quick Trip taquito, though.
Oh, my gosh. About 3 days on the toilet, huh?
No, I got a pretty strong constitution about it. I hold up well. I built a tolerance up, I feel like.
Tolerance, he said. What are those things called? Tornadoes?
Yeah,
I do like the steak and cheese.
Yeah,
one,
steak and cheese. I go pepper jack as well.
Yep, I can
Give me a couple of those with a little cup of ranch and a Rooster Booster Light. Man, let me tell you, that's living right here.
I've been weird. I've been going to Sonic about every other Friday and getting about 6 packets of their ranch and just living it off the week.
I like their signature sauce at Sonic. I can't.
What is that?
So it's like it's in an it's like orange colored, and I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like it's like a sweeter Chick-fil-A sauce, kind of.
You ever tried the chicken dipping sauce from Brahms?
No.
Also very good.
Interesting.
Also very good.
Good to know. Good
Never
to
heard
know.
of it until I just show up and they had a little sauce thing, chicken dipping sauce. I was like, what is that?
Huh.
Top tier.
Right.
Top
Rock
tier,
and
man.
roll. I will say also Sonic, big kudos to them. They brought back the Frito chili cheese burrito as well recently. I'm a big fan of that.
Very solid.
Yep.
I'm usually just more of an ultimate meat and cheese burrito guy.
Oh, I see.
I had a student coach when I was in high school said, hey, if it's morning, you get lunch at Sonic. If it's lunch, you get breakfast at Sonic.
Interesting.
I was like, okay, I will vibe with that.
You know, other than the maple syrup sticks or French toast sticks, I don't know if I've ever had anything else.
And the Titans take the initiative themselves.
Yeah, they take the knee, and the clock didn't run.
As the lady
there we
forgets
go.
to start the clock, and we're back.
Good gracious.
Been a great day of football, I will say, though, Stephen.
Yeah.
I mean, been a lot of action here in this one. I mean, over 80 points here in this one. Can't complain with the action. And the Titans, the score, I think, doesn't do this game justice as the Titans, for
or
at
the
least
Titans justice.
2.5 quarters played decent football.
And they hung with the Crusaders. I think this game would be completely different if Sebastiano didn't go down in the second quarter. He looked very competent and comfortable at that quarterback position, but yeah, it is definitely been a tough end for the Titans. As we have 70 seconds left to go here from Hughes Stadium. Again, we'll be back in action on the Southern Sports Network next week for Gators and Bears. Oh, my. And then in 2 weeks, we'll wrap up a regular season coverage with Crusaders and Gators right back here at Hughes Stadium. Of course, want to make a note. Tomorrow, Father's Day. So happy Father's Day and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, as well as my dad at home. Special day. Had Mother's Day about a month ago, so great to celebrate the parents out there.
Yeah, Mother's Day, Father's Day, always a special time for most families. I mean, just a day for joy, day to cherish the ones you have, and always a great day. Can't wait to go golfing tomorrow, no doubt about that. But this game looks like it's coming to an end. 15 seconds left, 62-20. Crusaders on top. Like we said, this score doesn't really do it justice, but a hard-nosed win here from the Crusaders today as they almost did everything right. Couple of hiccups here and there, but they played outstanding football here today, Stephen.
Certainly they did, Carter. That'll do it for us here in Joplin. Your final score, 62-20. The Crusaders improve as they stay in the second seed. For DeCharles, for our producer Joshua Weisel, for Carter Randolph, I've been Stephen Blackson. Have a safe and sound night. Have a happy Father's Day, and we'll see you back on the Southern Sports Network next week.